What's up, everybody? Face Off Sports Network here. Steve D'Angelo at Fantasy Savvy. We got Ernie here at Fantasy Football Anonymous. We go another Tuesday night waiver FAAB show. I think last week might have been a little bit crazier, but we got some decent names on the wire this week as well. So we're going to get into all of it in a second here. I just wanted to bring that intro up in a second for the Face Off Sports Network. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing to the show. We got Yankees playoffs. Ernie and I, both big-time Yankee fans, on the brink here, down 2-1 here in the top of the second. Winner go home for the Yankees, down 2-0 to Toronto. I'm sure there's a lot of people rooting against the Yankees, even though they're playing a Canadian team tonight. But anyway, we'll on the way back, we'll come back. We'll get into all these FAAB hits for this week, week 6. We'll get to your questions as well. Try to keep them, somewhat centric to the brand, of the show, which is FAAB Waiver Wire. But, we'll try to get to everybody's questions if we have enough time. So let's go. Face Off Sports Network. Like, subscribe, and share. Here we go. Okay. All right, Ernie. So what's up, man? How you doing? You missed last week. Will and I held it down, but glad to have you back here tonight.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that, guys. I was so tired the other day. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, happy to talk some ball. I got more time today, so excited to go over waiver wires, got some juicy streamers lined up.
Yeah, contrary, popular belief, we also have other jobs and families to take care of. Some of these guys in the industry is all they do all day long, so they have a little bit of an advantage. But we put as much time, obviously, as we can into this, and we love it, just like you guys. And we put a little extra oomph into it, so we can help you guys as much as possible. So, yeah, let's get started with the quarterbacks. I know you wanted to mention Matt Stafford. I mean, I feel like he's pretty much owned in most leagues. Actually, I don't see a percentage here for him, but I mean, there's a chance, 12-team leagues, he definitely still could be out there. 10-team leagues, 100%. He definitely should be out there as well. But if you want to just, chime in on Matt Stafford real quick, go ahead.
Roster percentage on ESPN, 52.
Oh, well.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. He was one of my zero.
Actually, no, I do see a percentage here. 63% on Yahoo, so a little bit more, but
that checks out where it's like 50. Yeah, like these are in good competitive leagues. Like he was one of my zero QB targets, right? Just because they added Devontae and there's a lot to like with the Rams. Like he's QB6 right now, so if he's still there on your wire and you need a quarterback, like again, this is probably like 45%ish. He should be available. I think Matt Stafford is awesome. I think you're getting a top 10 quarterback. Because do you see him falling outside of the top 10?
What I think is helping Stafford this year is the presence of Devontae Adams, obviously.
Yeah, he's one of the better teams
over Cooper Kupp, but also what's helping is they don't run the ball as much in the red zone anymore. Now they're targeting Devontae, so it's more passing touchdowns for Stafford. So, yeah, I think that's helping him a lot because, in the years prior, it was like Kyron to the 1. I mean, Kyron from the 5 to the 2, then Kyron again to the end zone. So, I think he's dealing a little bit more. So, can he finish outside the top 10? I could see it. I mean, there's some good quarterbacks in fantasy, obviously, but would I be surprised if he finishes inside the top 10? No, I wouldn't be surprised at all with those 2 monster weapons he has. I mean, they just go off each and every week.
Right.
And then McVay is obviously one of the best play designers, play callers in the game as well. So, yeah, it's all set up, and Stafford's obviously one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league and a Super Bowl champion. So,
well, you know what else? I think kind of like what you're saying, I think they were relying on their strengths. Like I think McVay is really smart. So is you're going to run the ball more when your team's set up to run the ball better. Now it's like, all right, he could open it up. I think Stafford was always capable of this. He just wasn't, able to do it with the cast that they had last year. And now we're starting to, see that. So there still is that kind of like, this is like last call for him. Right. But listen, look at this schedule coming up.
Ravens this
Baltimore,
week. That's
yeah,
sweet. Yeah.
Baltimore, Jaguars, Saints, Niners, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Arizona, Seattle, Atlanta. That is awesome. That actually, this is like that actually might be one of the better QB schedules I've seen. So yeah, if he's still there, man, and like if you're looking to if he's not there and you're trying to buy low on a quarterback, because I feel like a lot of teams they do carry two quarterbacks. Stafford might be their
Yeah.
number two, right? Where it's like, say they have Mahomes, Stafford, stack, something like that. Buy low on him, because like, dude, I think he's about to go on a tear. I think we all think the Rams are legit. I mean, I have the Rams as a top four team in the NFC. I think with the Niners, that was just, again, divisional game. Niners are also really good. But I'm not out on the Rams at all. So I think it's a good buy low. Um, a good buy window before I really never get him.
Yeah, I mean, even also he's got games against the Lions, the Seahawks, and the Bucks. So those are like those totals in those games might be hitting like
Shootouts,
50s. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
bro.
wheels up as long as those two receivers stay healthy. But even if not, I mean, Jordan Whittington's the guy we should probably even bring up. Like he's like
Good call.
he might
Yeah.
be one of like the best handcuffs at receiver in fantasy. If he steps in a role, I mean, he's gonna ball out Jordan Whittington. So it's like right now, like you have some room, like you
Well,
want to be sneaky. You could add Jordan Whittington. Obviously don't root for an injury, but like this guy gets an opportunity at some point. He's going to ball out. Tutu Atwell, obviously will get some opportunity as well. But Whittington kind of fits like that Puka role a little bit more.
yes, I was just gonna say, like, not to be this guy, but dude, Whittington was a 5-star recruit. Like this kid like always had sky high potential. Like,
Yeah.
and I know Les Snead has a connection to Texas. Whittington came from Texas, so he might have got some insider info. But
Yeah.
you hit it on the head like as a handcuff, and then like that's the big one. Like if Devontae went down, he would still get more snaps. But if Puka went down, because Puka like plays that slot, that big slot, and like that's exactly where Whittington would go. So that would be like crazy because could
Yeah.
you imagine like just flexing him
Dude,
in PPR for the rest of the year?
he's a guy. I mean, you can get him for nothing now. But
Literally.
like if there's an injury, he could go for like $600 on FAAB.
Yeah.
So it's like it's something that like you want to like I'm kind of waiting to see when I could pull the trigger on him, like because I'm adding other guys instead. But like yeah, he's a guy like if you feel pretty good about your roster, you feel pretty comfortable. You don't need to guess on some of these other guys. You could stash them and just hope for the best. Or if you're like a Devontae or Puka owner, you could stash him as well. But yeah, Stafford 100%. Hoff says, "Good luck, fellas. Crush it." Appreciate that, Hoff. Hustle and Bruce. We'll get this question.
Hold on, just to get the Hoff real quick. Hoff, I hope you're watching because my next waiver wire pickup is for you, big guy.
All right, we'll get to Hustler and Bruce's question. This is going to be
Yeah.
obviously one of the biggest questions on the wire this week is with your boy Amari and Hampton going down 4 weeks.
Oh.
So they lose Najee with the eye, and then they got the Achilles. He's out for the year. Then Hampton's catching a million passes from Herbert. It's like
lost
like
all my leagues, dude.
It's like Austin Eckler all over again.
Yeah.
And now he's out a month. I guess it's a high ankle sprain. So, you would expect him probably back after the 4 games. But in the meantime, we have Hassan Haskins, who's Harbaugh's boy from Michigan, and then Kamani Vidal, who's everybody's favorite freaking sleeper in fantasy last year. Didn't do anything.
Right.
So, is it going to be a mix of guys? Is it just going to be Hassan Haskins? I mean, we've seen Greg Roman kind of mix guys in, Justice Hill, Gus Edwards could kind of be something like that. I tend to think they're going to use both guys. Haskins probably short yardage. He'll get the goal line touches, I would think too. Maybe Vidal's more of the third down back, or do you think they just use Haskins like 70-80% of the time like they're using Hampton?
So I'm going to do this because I've seen a lot of fantasy material today when I was scrolling on Twitter, and a lot of people that are doing waiver wires are putting like Haskins and Vidal together. And I don't think that's fair because, like, if you have the number one waiver wire claim, you can't pick up both. You have to pick up one. So if I was going to gamble on this, the one that I think is more valuable is Hassan Haskins. I think he fits the Omarion Hampton role better, right? What the Chargers are trying to do. Now, I do think it will be some kind of split because, like, Greg Roman was doing that with Omarion Hampton and Najee. So, like, I'd imagine he does it with his backup. But I agree with what you said. Like, when you said 70%, I could see it being like a 70-30 split. I also don't think, again, I could be wrong. I don't think Kamani's going to be the goal line guy. I think Hassan will be the one on the goal line. Again, there is that Michigan connection, but I think out of these two running backs for the next 4 weeks, Hassan Haskins is going to be the one that's more valuable.
Yeah, and I would say you don't want to go too crazy on one of these guys, like unless you're absolutely
No,
desperate, or if you're a Hampton owner, because like both these guys are kind of underwhelming. I mean, Haskins really isn't good, and
he'll be a volume
Vidal.
king goal
Yeah,
line.
Vidal's, I don't know what he's really going to do. But I mean, if one of these guys is featured, exclusively, then they're going to catch a ton of passes. Obviously, Herbert is, checking down to the backs. Their offensive line is a disaster right now with All and Slater out. So, they're probably going to want to, get the backs involved in the pass game a little bit more, like an extension of the run game. So, I don't know. I'm not going to go too crazy on either one of these guys, especially with Hampton, coming back in like 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
They can kind of cancel each other out. But I think being it's Harbaugh's boy and Haskins has been there a little bit longer. I think Haskins is probably the move, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vidal, maybe shows out a little bit. Maybe some of that rookie hype from last year. It shows a little bit more burst at least and makes some bigger plays. And earns like maybe a 60-40 or a 50-50 split.
But you made me realize something. Like, when you said featured, right? This is actually that made me like Haskins more because it's either going to be a split. If either of them, okay, if one of them was going to be featured, which would it be? I think it would be Haskins. Again, that's just me guessing. I think
Yeah.
he, fits the mold more for a featured back, right? But like that's I guess the ceiling. But floor is they split. So, if you roll the dice on one of them, like you have the number one claim and you want to pick one of these guys up to stream them for 4 weeks because Hampton will be back. I agree with you there. This is a 4 week streamer, so I wouldn't go nuts with FAAB either, but I would Haskins.
Yeah.
Everything to me points to Haskins,
I
so
would I would say though, like if I'm putting a bid out, all right, maybe I'll put like just say I'm putting like $20 down or $30. Maybe I'll put like 25 on Haskins and like back him up with Vidal at like 22 or whatever. Like I don't know, something like that. I don't know, man. Like every time I've seen Haskins, he just kind of seems like he gets like 2 or 3 yards and then gets tackled. So I don't know how much excitement I have for him. Vidal, he's kind of a little bit of an unknown still, but he's got some pretty good size. He's like a short, stocky little back, 5'8", 210. So, we'll see. But yeah, I think Haskins would probably be the favorite, just because he has that relationship with Harbaugh, and he might be the better back in general anyway. So, but in general, I'm not going too nuts.
sure. Agree.
Al says, "Sup, fellas." Bob Hope says Sutton or Myers, Keenan Swift. Sutton or Myers, Keenan Swift, PPR. Pick one, all. So, would you pick up Pitts or Taylor or Haskins or Vidal? Thanks, guys. Sutton or Myers, Keenan Swift, PPR.
We do questions now or at the end?
We'll just do this real quick because we don't have many questions.
Sutton or Myers, Keenan Swift. Sutton's playing the Jets this week, so he's going to be on Sauce Island. Even though I feel like Sutton could have a solid game versus him. Who are the Raiders playing?
Let me see. Hold on.
All comes down to matchups. Let's see. All right. Myers.
Raiders are playing the Titans.
All right. So I don't hate the Myers matchup. And then Keenan is playing. Where are you at?
Broncos Jets in
Yeah,
Germany,
that's what I'm saying.
wherever the hell it is. Oh,
That's what I
London,
said. Yeah, Sauce is. I'm sure Tane's going to be on Sauce Island,
yeah.
dude. I kind of like Keenan Allen actually. because the Chargers are playing the
I mean, I'm
Dolphins.
not really worried about Sutton against Sauce. Sauce is really not playing that well, and Sutton just had a good game against Quinyon Mitchell too. So, I mean, he was bodying up Quinyon Mitchell pretty much in that game.
That's why I said, yeah, dude. I originally said he's gonna be in Sauce Island, but Sutton is a receiver that could have a good game versus Sauce.
Yeah, I got to go with Sutton there because he's the most consistent option, I would think.
I think
Myers has been a disaster of late. Keenan.
I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen. I like that game in Miami. I think
that's a good matchup. You're right. I would say definitely Keenan over Myers.
I think he went with the safe. I think Sutton is safe. If you want to go for upside, I would, because I could actually see with the Chargers offensive line being banged up, I could see that actually being like a more competitive game. I think there's going to be points. I think Herbert will be airing out. We just said, Haskins and Vidal are underwhelming. I'm not disagreeing with you there. So, I think I would go with Keenan Allen. I think Allen is the upside play.
Yeah. I don't mind Allen or Sutton there.
Yeah, agreed.
You could go with Swift too. I mean, he's going to be coming off a bye. He should be kind of fresh.
Who are they playing? Who are the Bears playing?
The Bears are
I'm a Swift hater.
Yeah, I'm a Swift hater too. Who the hell are the Bears playing? Oh, they're playing Monday night against the Commanders. Second Monday night game. I still think I'd go with one of the receivers.
Yeah, you could go with Swift because I feel like that will weirdly I feel like everybody's starting to see what the Commanders are. They're more like a scrappy 500 team. I think last year was just kind of they overexceeded expectations. I don't think they're I think a lot of people thought they were going to be on level with the Eagles.
That was a good freaking win against the Chargers this week, though. Right?
Was it though? Because it's you're not playing the Chargers. They don't have Slater. They don't have Alt.
I mean, I still think it's.
I'm not going to take it away from them. I know, but the Chargers just lost to the Giants. You know what I mean? Chargers are a wounded animal right now. So I will say this.
That's a weird spot for the Chargers though.
Right.
Because they went to the East Coast and they went back to the West Coast. So maybe the travel bug got them a little bit.
Listen, man, I'm a Giants fan. I just know how important offensive line and tackles are. Yeah. And I think that's why we're seeing dude, the first 3 weeks we're holy crap, Herbert's the MVP. And now the last 2 weeks you're what's going on? And I don't think anything's changed. Supporting cast matters. It does.
Yeah. All right, production. Let's keep it moving here. Would you pick up Pitts or Taylor or Haskins or Vidal? So you like Haskins. I don't mind Haskins, but as far as the tight end, Pitts or Taylor there?
Taylor.
Yeah, I'll go with Taylor as well. I just think Fields is going to pepper him all freaking day long. Pitts a little bit better this year with Penix, but I think I'd go with Taylor as well. All right, let's get back. I just wanted to answer his questions. We got some more questions in the chat. We'll get to them as we get through the show, guys, but let's get back to the waivers. One other quarterback you wanted to mention there, Ernie. Who was it?
This one's for you, Hoff. Joey Flacco.
Oh,
I actually love him as a streamer.
Well, what are you going to do? He's not going to start right away. I mean, fresh into the offense. You think so?
He's got. I don't know if he'll start this week.
He doesn't even know the offense.
I know. Well, dude, I mean, bro, he's a professional football player. What is he honestly doing?
I mean, all he's gonna do is just. Yeah, I mean,
it's his job. Take an Adderall, study the playbook. I don't know what to tell you. Look, I don't know if he's going to play this week, but I don't think
he's going to play this week. But
next week, definitely. And maybe that's awesome. The Bengals did not the Bengals traded for him to back up Jake Browning. No, Jake Browning's terrible.
No, obviously they want Flacco to take the job. Yeah, no, 100%.
He's going to. And I think Jamar Chase gets a big boost now. This is if you have Jamar Chase, this is almost prayers have been answered for this Joe Burrow injury. If there was
but we're talking about him on the waiver wire for this week though. So super flex obviously.
Yeah, but why? What
are you doing with Flacco for this week? Is what my question.
It's a look ahead.
No, but I'm just saying what are you going to do? But there's got to be a lot better quarterbacks than Flacco on the wire. No, don't you think?
Who you got?
I mean, we just talked about Matt Stafford. You got maybe Darnold's out there.
I mean, if Darnold's still out there, yeah, but like I said, Darnold, like what, week 4? That was
Yeah,
one of my quarterbacks to pick up. I'm picking new guys. I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying, dude, like Joe Flacco, like again, it was like, well, Matt Stafford, you said was at 50% owned, right? Now I'm talking
Yeah.
about quarterbacks that aren't owned. Like, what Joe Flacco is going to be
Who
an
would
awesome
who
streamer.
would you, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Penix, Bryce Young, Mac Jones, or Flacco? Well, I mean, like out of those names, how would you want Flacco over those guys?
No, number one right now, I would actually take Mac Jones.
Okay.
I love Mac Jones. I think he's actually playing at an awesome level right now. Um, yeah, man, call me like if Joe Flacco is starting next week for the Bengals, I would take him over Bryce Young and Penix.
All right, let's look at the Bengals schedule.
So like a lot
Because
of people
because I mean,
like
because even when Burrow was in there, it still didn't really look that sound. Like I know Browning had a good game fantasy wise, but he did have 3 turnovers, which hurts you. But he came back in garbage time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like if the options aren't that great, it's just that you got to stash him for like 2 weeks, so you got to have the roster spot to have Flacco on your bench. I feel like next week would be more of the week to strike on him. But yeah, I mean, he may get. I don't know how many people are going to really pick up Flacco this week if he's not starting. Is my point, really?
he's like a deep stash, man. I just think he
Yeah.
actually could be a good streamer with the Bengals. I don't think that's like crazy to say only because
Their
if we
schedule,
were
their
hot
schedule.
to draft him when he was on the Browns, then I think we would like him when he's on the Bengals now.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really hot to draft him on the Browns, except for Superflex. That was really it. Um,
You drafted him in best ball. I
yeah, it
remember.
was Superflex though.
But that's not, dude. I'm just saying he could be a nice little streamer. That's all.
Actually, I'm happy. I was actually looking at that team. That team's in second place right now.
There you
Uh,
go.
Darnold, Flacco, Rogers, and Richardson are my quarterbacks, and I'm in second place.
There you
Um,
go.
Packers, Steelers coming up, not great, but then they get the Jets, Bears, Steelers again, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins. So yeah, not terrible. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like it depends on your league. If it's super flex, 100%. He has Chase and freaking Higgins. So how's that going to look? That's gonna maybe Flacco is throwing for freaking 303 touchdowns. Even though he might throw like 2-3 picks, like Browning as well and fumble. But he'll keep the job. Flacco just kind of goes into a building, just takes over. So yeah, you're right, man.
I'm just looking at quarterbacks available on the waiver wire right now. Like outside, like Matt Stafford and Sam Darnold, I think are the obvious ones for leagues where they're still there. Like Matt Stafford, I mean, I'm sorry, Sam Darnold's rostered in 14% of ESPN leagues. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But behind those two, like I don't want Bryce Young. Like I would literally rather Mac Jones or pick up Joe
You got
Flacco
Tua.
early.
Tua might be out there. He's 30%. Bryce Young's 19%. I'm referring to Yahoo. Penix is 34. Flacco is 10%. Rogers 20%. You got Dylan Gabriel. Rattler fucking 7%. Cam Ward 11%. And then Cooper Rush. Forget about Cooper Rush. I would take Flacco all day over Cooper Rush. Well, not even close, but there's some decent options. I guess you just play the matchups. I mean, do you want to use Flacco against the Packers in 2 weeks though?
Um, with the Bengals, why not? I just think he's on a better team. I like.
Actually,
I
they
just
get the Packers this week. My bad. So he would go against the Steelers if he starts in 2 weeks on Thursday Night Football.
yeah. If he gets the nod as starter, then I would feel comfortable playing him. I would almost like, dude, if I was like desperate and I really need to start somebody, like, why not? I really think like they're trading for him because they want to try to salvage this season and try to,
Yeah, get the
get his
Burrow.
yes.
Yeah,
Because, with Baltimore wounded, and like we all know the Steelers aren't like they're not for real. So it's like, there's still hope, So it's just like let's try to get some wins as many wins as you can. I think that's why they're trading for him, and I do think Flacco is a serviceable fantasy quarterback, and I think
he
I
is.
don't I like it with Chase and Higgins. Like I actually think there's a vision there. So
The Yankees are getting stomped, by the way.
yeah, man, I tried. You told me you're like, be happy. I told you, man.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
don't
not
feel
going to
good.
go in with a negative fucking,
I'm not.
and I'm still not giving the fuck up either. I'm fucking root the whole time.
Let's go. All right,
I'm not gonna go. I'm just saying they're down 6-1, but
holy crap, dude.
I'm not gonna,
I'm with you, buddy.
But
I
yeah,
know.
no, it does seem like it's the Blue Jays time. Like, when's the last time they made the World Series? 1993, I think it was. So yeah, it's not looking good right now. Blue Jays are playing good ball, but we'll see. All right, let's keep it moving. I think we mentioned all those quarterbacks there. Any other quarterbacks that stick out to you? Penix's playing a little bit better ball. He's 34% owned. Trevor Lawrence, 41% owned. That was probably one of the best games I've seen Trevor Lawrence play in
Right. I agree.
long ass time. It was his birthday, so that birthday narrative. A lot of times, guys just ball out on their birthday, but he was running more, which I thought was key for him.
Right.
Up the middle, like he can run up. If he tries to run around the sides, he usually gets caught. But when he runs up the middle, obviously he gets, like they clear a path. He's kind of dangerous that way. So yeah, he played a great game though. Nice, toss to Brian Thomas. But he slips and falls and runs into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. It was just crazy. I don't know how much I trust Trevor Lawrence. Darnold is playing great, 31%. Mac Jones, as long as he's the starter, 4%. I feel pretty good about that. Anything else that sticks out? How about Jackson Dart at 23%?
I am fading every Giant possible in fantasy football. That's just me.
But he's been pretty good for fantasy, though, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if I try. Do you trust the Giants? This is sinking ship. They are a sinking ship, dude. Like, come on, the GM is getting fired, bro. Their schedule.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean like some of these guys still can't be good for fantasy. I know the Giants in real life are sinking.
Hold on, okay, I agreed. But would you pick up Jackson Dart for this string of games? Philly, Denver, Philly.
I don't feel great about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I'm fading for now.
Yeah, no,
I like the long-term upside. Again, it will be interesting because the Giants are one of the worst teams in the NFL. So most likely they will be picking in the top 3, a great quarterback class. So we'll see how the new GM feels about Jackson Dart. Wouldn't be surprised if you see kind of like a Josh Rosen-esque thing, but I do like his long-term outlook.
What do you think about JJ McCarthy? 32% owned. Seems like he's slowly coming back. Maybe week 7. You kind of like stashing him. Do you think that they're going to continue to go with Wentz, or you think they're going to go back to McCarthy when he comes back? Don't you think?
I think they have to go back to McCarthy. I was never a McCarthy guy, so I'm personally going to stay away. But the only thing that kind of makes McCarthy appealing to me is the coach he's connected to. I have a lot of respect for O'Connell.
And the talent, too.
Yeah.
You're throwing
They have a good offensive
Jefferson, Addison, fucking Hawkinson. Right. So,
but it's scary. It's scary when Carson Wentz looks better than you in the offense. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at.
He played 2 games. Like, you got to give him time.
Sure. Agree. I'll give you that. Yeah. But still, doesn't encourage me. So let's see.
You know what is encouraging though? Like, you've seen Carson Wentz look good. You've seen Sam Darnold go off. You've seen Nick Mullins look good. Josh Dobbs look good. Like, I think McCarthy.
That was the vision.
Should be good. I don't think he's going to be a complete inept quarterback in this system. Like, I feel like he's going to put up good fantasy points. He may just need another game or 2 to get going. But I think that second game. Remember, we were talking about that game, and they didn't have Darisaw. Like, he had no time to throw. Like, it was just getting sacked constantly. So now they got Darisaw back. That helps stabilize a little bit. I know they lost another offensive lineman recently as well. But yeah, I'm not picking him up now. But like when he comes back week 7, it's a guy that I'm kind of keeping tabs on a little bit. I guess that's it. Spencer Rattler actually played a little bit. He seems like he's starting to play a little bit better ball. I've been clowning on him a little bit too much. Maybe he seems like he's slowly getting a little bit better. But still, I don't want any part of him. And that's pretty much it for the quarterbacks. All right, let's get into the running backs. We talked about Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal. I think we covered that enough. Again, guys, we're going to get into your questions. We just want to get through some of these positions. Maybe I'll pick out some questions if they are waiver related, FAAB related to the position. I'll pick them out real quick, and Ernie and I will answer them. But if not, once we get through these guys, we'll answer them at the end. Michael Carter, 34% owned. Amari DiMercato just is probably going to get the Adonai Mitchell treatment. He was already playing less than Carter in this game. Bam Knight, got a touchdown also, but it seems like Carter is going to be the guy. DiMercato, I think, is going to be in the doghouse after that, dopey ass play, a week after freaking Adonai Mitchell does the same thing. So it's like, when are these guys ever going to learn? It just makes no sense. Like, why do you have to do it right when you cross the end zone? Like, can't you just wait till you're in the back of the end zone? Like, I don't get it. Right. But 34% on Michael Carter, former Jet. What do you think of Carter here in Arizona?
Love him. I actually picked him up last week when everybody was grabbing DiMercato, because they were always weirdly high on Michael Carter, and he got practice squad player of the week and stuff. So I love this pickup, and I just think the DiMercato fumble just made this even better. Again, he's a 3-week streamer. I think Benson, if for whatever reason, if somebody dropped him, or you have a league where there's only one IR spot, I would pick him up and stash him, because I think it's similar to Hampton, they'll be back and they're going to claim the role. But for 3 weeks, I think Michael Carter is an awesome streamer.
It's what the hell was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, I mean, Benson could be out longer. They said 4 to 6 weeks, so it may be longer than just the month.
Really? He might be longer than definitely pick up Michael Carter, because he's the guy until the.
I mean, the production last week was shitty. 18 for 51, 2.8 yards per carry, but he got into the end zone, and he did catch 5 balls on 5 targets, so he's going to get the opportunity. So, yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to go too nuts on a guy like Michael Carter, but he's, maybe Bam Knight gets a little bit more usage, but you'd have to think. And, DiMercato, give him credit. He's kind of flashed here and there, but, I don't know. He just lost his – at least for this week, maybe 2 weeks if they feel a bit better about him. But yeah, Michael Carter, great opportunity for him right now. So again, I don't want to go too crazy on these guys. It depends on your need. If you really need a running back help, then, you want to spend a little bit more. But, this is not a long-term play, a long-term high upside play on Michael Carter. So you don't want to be dropping a ton of FAAB on this guy, but just enough to get him if you need him, is what I would say. All right. Let's see what else we got running back. All right. So a guy that went off before the bye, we saw in the Germany game with Jaylen Warren as the late scratch, which obviously killed a lot of fantasy owners. But Kenny Gainwell, man, I thought that was one of the best games he ever played as a pro. He looked pretty solid in that game. And so what do you think? Sounds like Warren's probably going to be back. Do you think it's going to be a 60-40, or think it's going to kind of be a 70-30 back to Warren? Or do you think Gainwell has earned a little bit more playing time based off that performance last week?
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I was actually looking up that before, because I wanted to see what's the status with Jaylen Warren. He was practicing today, so he looks like he'll be back. I kind of think, if I was to make a guess here, I think how the Steelers operate is kind of next man up until the starter comes back. They have kind of that respect where it's I think if Jaylen Warren's good to go, I think he's going to be back to that bell cow role, and Gainwell will spell him, right? I do think Kenny Gainwell opened eyes, and he showed everybody that he might have a little more than what we thought. And I think he showed that he's capable of, filling in when he needs to. But I don't know if they're going to reward him with a bigger role now. Again, that's just me guessing. But at least we know that, he's a very valuable handcuff. Yeah. That's his floor. You know what I mean? If it does go back to that. But would I be shocked if now it's kind of a tandem? No. You know what I mean? But I just have that weird feeling, because I was thinking about adding him on this list too. Is he worth adding up? I think if you if you're cool with handcuffs, definitely, because that's his floor. But there could be a little bit more if they start to try to do a 1-2 punch. All I know is that Caleb Johnson is in the doghouse.
Yeah.
At least for his first year.
Yeah,
So we'll
he's
see.
he's like right now he's on like Trey Sermon territory. Caleb
100%.
Johnson, and I had hopes for Trey Sermon. He never panned out, and I had hopes for Caleb Johnson. And Aaron Rodgers came into town and said, "You can't pass protect, take a seat." And then he was dropping punts and dropping some passes. So yeah, he's going to have to show out, to get more opportunity. But yeah, Gainwell looked good. Maybe Warren first week back. Maybe he's still bit injured. So maybe it is a 50-50, maybe for at least this week. And it could continue to remain to go that. I do think they want to go with Warren, but maybe they want to lessen his role a little bit. They realize maybe, we can't give him too much. He could get hurt again. So I think Gainwell's out there. You feel pretty excited about him. It is a pretty damn good role. 19 for 99 and 2 touchdowns against the Vikings, then caught 6 balls for 35 yards. So he kind of showed he could do a little bit of what Warren does. I still think Warren's the better player, but Kenneth Gainwell is definitely intriguing. I don't mind stashing him if you have a spot, and it's just a matter of how much you think you can get him for. All right. Kendre Miller, 31% owned. He's been kind of showing out, been getting more and more usage. 10 for 41 against the Giants. There's some, possible chance that Kamara could get moved to a contending team, maybe the Chargers. We'll see. What do you think about a trade for Kamara? And if not, do you like to add Kendre Miller regardless?
It's a good question, man. I do agree, and I get the vision that a contender will trade for him. Why wouldn't they? And if you're the Saints, why wouldn't you trade him? Right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But it's like Kendre Miller, even if they kept Kamara, I think because his role is starting to grow, what it looks
Yeah.
like. And I think a lot of people like me, and I know my brother, we were really, really high on him when he
I
came out of
was too.
TCU.
I was too.
Yeah, man. Like he just looked like a dog, and like good size. Had some really good games that final year coming out of TCU. And maybe you're seeing that. He had the injury bug, I think, earlier in his career. And I think it's easy to fall out of love with players when there's not hype and they're kind of stagnant. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's when you see these late bloomers. So he might be a sneaky dynasty buy right now. You know what I mean? Because the Saints are another team. In theory, they should be picking pretty high next year, and they might get a quarterback. And they've been, investing in their offensive line. And now all of a sudden you have, the featured running back in an ascending offense. So I think I like him more as like a dynasty buy low. But for this, like if you're in deeper leagues and you kind of want to stash somebody just to see, because running back is always thin, hell yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because the upside's there. It makes
Yeah.
too much sense.
Yeah. And think about why would they want to keep Kamara? Like they're going nowhere. And then think
Right.
about the usage. Like they're giving Kendre Miller more carries. So it almost seems like they're trying to keep Kamara fresh in
Right.
some ways. So I think a trade is very probable. And Kendre Miller would step into an absolute dynamite, opportunity. And as far as talented, all these guys we've talked about, like he's arguably the most talented we've talked about. So the upside
Highest
is there.
pedigree.
Yeah, yeah.
Highest pedigree.
Was he a 3rd round pick?
Exactly. I think
He
he's a
just
high
never
third
been
round
he's
pick
never
too.
been healthy. And then Dennis Allen obviously hated his guts and kept him in the basement. So
Bro, that was insane, dude. He overhated him too. Like, bro,
dude,
like you were part of the draft process. How could you
he
hate a
hated his guts.
player that much? Like,
He hated
like
his guts.
wild.
I told Will
Wild.
I was getting KKK vibes from Dennis.
Yo,
Dennis
dude.
Allen.
Dude, maybe. Maybe, bro. Maybe. Because that
But
was wild.
yeah, but anyway, yeah. So Kendrick Miller, I'm we like his pedigree. Hasn't been healthy, looks finally healthy. He's looked good. And we I think we are expecting a Kamara trade, which would be great for Kamara to get the hell out of there, and awesome for Kendrick Miller to take the next step up. So yeah, if Kendrick Miller's out there, he should, he was drafted in a lot of leagues. He's been added, prior. So yeah, 100% add him. All right, let's talk about the Chiefs backfield now. Brashard Smith's starting to slowly creep up a little bit more and more.
Mm-hmm.
16% ownership. I think that it's a slow burn-in process for Brashard Smith. But Kareem Hunt, man, 2 touchdowns yesterday. He looks like the better back out of Pacheco and him. Like Kareem Hunt, again, pedigree. History with the Chiefs. He came into Kansas City last year, told Reed he was going to step up for him. He did it. I kind of thought that they would go back to Pacheco a little bit more this year. They haven't done that with Pacheco getting a little bit healthier. So Kareem Hunt, do you think he's going to be kind of sticky all season long for the Chiefs? Or do you think it's going to be like a 50-50 thing? Like Pacheco's going to get 1 week, Kareem Hunt, or do you think Kareem Hunt's going to kind of outshine him?
I'm looking at the production of them right now. And I think if I was to pick any of them, like, are you talking about for this week or this is like a season long play?
I would say season long because, you have a Chiefs running back, and that's obviously valuable. He's only 39% owned. Like, I was playing in high stake leagues, and he's still out there, like, not a lot, maybe like 1 or 2, not many, but definitely higher percentage. Here come the Yanks. Judge 2 for 2, 6-2. All right, we're coming back a little bit. But 39% owned is not a lot, dude. So I would say long-term rest of the year for Hunt.
Well, here's the annoying thing, right? Like, you take away the Philly game, and Pacheco's averaging over 5 yards per carry. Okay. Kareem Hunt, you look at his game log.
Yeah.
He's not as efficient, not nearly as efficient. But last game, he looked good. He averaged 7 yards per carry, 749, 2 touchdowns. So they like him on the goal line. I'm imagining.
Plus they rely on him more in the passing game, too, a little bit more. He's a better receiving back.
Yeah, they're not going to throw Pacheco the ball. Honestly, man, like,
I mean, once in a while, like he caught a touchdown last week, but go ahead.
No, it's just tough because it's like, why wouldn't you use Kareem? Isaiah Pacheco more? But you know what, man? Like, I think if I was to take a gamble on one season long, I would go with Brashard Smith. I think his role is only going to grow. I think if you're in a PPR league, this is no brainer because it will offset him maybe not getting a lot of, wear and tear carries. He's going to get more of the PPR volume, right? But, for whatever reason, Andy is using multiple backs right now. And Kareem Hunt, I think he trusts him the most, but he doesn't really wow me. Pacheco is at least efficient right now, but his role isn't really growing. So I want Smith just because, is Pacheco or Kareem Hunt really going to win you any leagues? Right?
No.
Kind of like where they're at right now.
They could help you in certain matchups. But yeah, Smith's the upside play 100%. Like he's the guy that I'm in.
That's how I'm looking at it.
I'm playing in tournaments, like when I'm playing against the field or, I'm looking for the upside. Obviously, I'm going for Brashard Smith. I agree. I was just thinking like Hunt as like kind of like a solidifier in the next like month or so. You just kind of to fill the gap with some of these running back injuries.
Or like a flex. I like Kareem Hunt as a flex.
Yeah. Because Pacheco is mostly owned, so like Hunt's still kind of floating out there in some leagues. But yeah, if I have the luxury of choosing between Smith and Hunt, I'm definitely going with Smith, and I'm probably going with Smith in general over Hunt. But like if I can get both of them, or if the Hunt's just available, I don't mind adding Kareem Hunt because he could be decently solid, and he's playing on a good offense.
Wait,
so,
what's crazy though? Here's the thing with Pacheco, right? He's more efficient. Okay. He actually has more receptions than Kareem Hunt.
Not by much, though. I mean, Hunt's got 7.3 yards receiving. Pacheco's got 5.1. Hunt's got 4. Pacheco's 4.2 yards per carry. Hunt's 3.8. They both have 1 touchdown on the year. So they're kind of even pretty much. It's kind of very
the evens when I look at it that way, you're right. He's at 3.8. Yeah, so give me Brashard Smith, man, because it's like I think they're going to start looking for, more juice at that position. And I don't know. I like the fact that they're just starting to throw him the ball all of a sudden. So could be that McKinnon role.
Yeah.
So,
yep, 100%.
I'll take that all day.
Tajay Spears coming back last week, just 4 for 14. I feel like the fantasy community kind of overrates this guy a little bit. I mean, like every year we're like Tajay Spears never really does anything. I mean, the guy always has an AC, like he has no ACL. He's still playing behind Pollard. I know his snap share is supposed to go up. Pollard really hasn't done much, but I don't think Spears is not a better player than Pollard in my eyes. So like, if I'm a Pollard owner, I'm adding Spears. And if I need some running back help and like he's one of the better running backs out there, I'll add him, but I'm not going to go nuts. And I don't think this is going to be ever like a 50-50 split between these two guys. I still think Pollard will go like 60-40, but 32% owned. He is a talented kid, but like I just think the fantasy community gets a little too excited about him sometimes.
Well, let me ask you this, because I agree with a lot of what you said. The ACL makes me laugh because that's why I didn't want him in Dynasty. Like Taji was a beast at Tulane. It just was, he has no knee. So it's like, dude, if like he gets one knee injury, he's never playing again. It was never the talent. I think kind of why I like him is because of this. I think Tony Pollard is good. He's a stud. I think Tajay has higher upside. I also think if you're the Titans, right? Let's say Kansas City at the trade deadline offers you a decent pick for him. Like, yo, we'll give you a 5th or a 4th for Pollard, right? Because Pollard, I feel like, is a better Kareem Hunt at this point. You know what I mean? Like, he's a more efficient. I would definitely take Tony Pollard over Kareem Hunt and put him in that role. But again, this is just me trying to, get you to see the vision. So a team like that makes that move. Now you have a starting running back. So I don't hate kind of like, the same vision with Kendre Miller. It's kind of the same thing with Tajay Spears,
Yeah, no,
and he's another one. His role might grow.
I think we've heard it kind of before, and it's never really. But yeah, I mean, he should get more burn this week. He just never really does anything. So like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's he's a guy that is talented for sure. I do think that ACL injury, like you mentioned, having no ACL holds him back a little bit, obviously. But yeah,
well,
not a bad
ad. Scared to own him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it hurts his production. Like I feel like if he had his full ACL, he'd probably be more like the college player he was. Like, all right, let's see. Any other backs here? Isaiah Davis, 5%. Braylon Allen's not going to be around for a long ass time. May not even play again this season. So I like Isaiah Davis. I feel like if you're a Breece Hall owner, you have to own Isaiah Davis. And there is a chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but there is a chance they could move Breece Hall. So Isaiah Davis is a little stash. You don't have to spend a lot to get him either. What do you think?
Steve, hold on real quick. Fun. I was just looking up Spears' stats like last year. Yeah. So the last 3 games, he got over 50% of the snaps. RB3, RB10, RB12. So there's some juice there. I actually don't hate that. But all right, I was just because I was interested because I never really knew his production was. All right, who are we on to now?
Isaiah Davis.
I don't hate that. I mean, again, I think he's stuck behind Breece. I think he might be like a solid handcuff. What was his stat line this week versus the Cowboys? He get catches?
Just to go over Tajay Spears' numbers, in that game, he had 4 carries for 5 yards and a touchdown. Then he caught 7 balls for 87 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, he will be using the passing game. Then 10 carries for 27 yards, 2 touchdowns. So not much on the ground, but then another 4 balls for 39, and then 20 carries against Jacksonville for 95 yards. Another 4 catches or 3 catches for 8 yards. So yeah, I mean, but I think Pollard was not even playing at that point, right? He was just taking over the number 1 role.
But that's all. Like if he gets traded, then it's just like
dude, right. If he gets traded, yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be in great.
I just think, dude, that's interesting. Where it's like, of course, right? You're making a good point. He had 10 carries for 27 yards, but he scored twice. And dude, still, this is 3 games he had over 50% of the snaps. PPR RB3, RB10, RB12.
I think Pollard got hurt in the Colts game, and then he took over.
Probably
he took over that game, and then he took over against Jacksonville. That's probably what happened. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Isaiah Davis, real quick.
Isaiah Davis, yeah, man. I mean, he's just like a handcuff to me. I'm just interested to see his stat line because I stopped watching the Jets game in the first half after.
Hall for the super chat, $1.99. He said, "I heard Ernie disown the Giants."
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
Ernie has been hating on the Giants since we first did a show together back in, I don't know, what was that, July?
Mm-hmm.
So we got another super chat. Let's
hold on. Wait, was I wrong though? Was I wrong? That's all I wanted. Was I actually wrong?
No, you haven't been wrong. Not at all.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I've 100%.
But I mean, yeah, you are a little too overly negative. I mean, you have to admit.
But it's like, is it not warranted at this point?
No, I
Look
mean
at
like
Daniel
no, but
Jones.
no, but I mean like Jackson. No, I'm talking about like the Giants players. Like at least you have Jackson Dart. You got some excitement. Neighbors is like one of the best receivers in the league, but yeah, he tears his
Agreed.
knee up. And Cam Scatterball, you got to admit, like he looks
I
like
love
a
Cam. Yeah,
yeah. So like there's some players on the team,
sure.
but yeah, like I don't. We talked about this before the show. Dable and Shane are obviously not exciting to say the least. Jared, I missed this. My bad, Jared. Let's get to this PPR trade. $2 super chat. PPR trade Henderson and Waddle. Get Ladd and Rashad White.
Trade PPR trade Henderson, Waddle, get Ladd, Rashad White. Now I'd actually keep Henderson and Waddle. I want
Yeah,
that side.
yeah,
I think
because Bucky's
Henderson's
gonna
role
come
is
back.
only going to grow. Yeah, Gibson just tore his ACL. This isn't the time to trade Henderson, especially with I think Stevenson's role is diminishing to the goal line back because it's like, all right, he fumbled that game. He didn't get any carries in between the 20s, but he got 2 goal line carries. This is wild. So I would imagine Henderson is going to start to be like their Swiss Army knife in between the 20s. So I like Henderson because I like his role to grow. And I love Jalen Waddle, man. Tyreek Hill's gone.
Yeah.
I think this is what Jalen Waddle truthers have been waiting for. And it's like, bro, like
Mhm.
this kid was drafted, what, a pick after Jamar Chase, too? People
Well, I
forget
mean,
that.
you don't even have to be a Jalen Waddle truther. If you can't watch Jalen Waddle and realize he's like one of the best receivers in the league, then
Yeah,
you're
dude.
watching.
Come on. Like, I don't even think it's like just talent alone, top
Yeah.
15. But yeah, bro, this kid's a rock star. And now, I'm not a big Tua fan, but again, it's fantasy football. I think they have a competent enough offense to be competitive and put up points. So yeah, give me Jalen Waddle. I think Waddle is the best player in that deal right now. Actually, now it's not even close. Would you really want Ladd? The only way I'd want Ladd, and again, this could be because Keenan Allen is injury prone, but as long as Keenan Allen's playing, I don't want Ladd, especially with an emerging Quentin Johnson who looks like a superstar right now. So it's like,
Well, Ladd did have 15 fantasy points last week, so he got off the schneid with a touchdown.
for sure, but you look at
But no,
his numbers, right?
I know, but I mean, besides all that, I agree. Like Rashad White's going to lose value. Yeah, he'll maintain somewhat of a role, but Bucky's going to come back
Right.
eventually.
Hell
And
yeah.
Waddle without Tyreek, like that's probably it's more concentrated to him now, where you have Ladd with Keenan and Quentin and Henderson, obviously now with no Gibson and freaking Ramondre's fumbling issues. You got to that side on the left is the better side.
Hell yeah. And the long term too, bro. You'll be so happy you didn't make that trade in like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
All right. Thanks for the question, Jared. If anybody else wants to throw us a super chat, we'll bump up. If not, we'll get to you guys towards the end of the show once we, get through these, FAAB. We're on the running backs now. We talked about Isaiah Davis. Jaden Blue finally makes his appearance last week, but Javante it's just unbelievable. Javante,
Yeah, I don't want, dude. I'll eat. I'll
dude,
eat crow at Javante.
it's because all right,
Starting running back.
his
He's a
rookie year,
starting
we
running
were
back.
excited. I wasn't. I always kind of thought he was a little overrated, but anyway, he had that injury,
No.
and then he didn't look like the same back. And then every year he became more and more of a value, but every year he kept burning you and burning you and burning you. What is this, year 5 now? So it was
Yeah.
like, is he just going to burn us again? But no, man, like the rest of the backs, they're all sucked. Like I think we all should have, like, props to you if you drafted a decent amount of Javante
Good
Williams.
hit. Good hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of the best running backs in fantasy football right now. It's insane.
The only thing I disagree with you on is like, dude, I was a big Javante Williams shooter. Like, I thought he was
Dude,
gonna be on top.
everybody and their mother liked him. I mean,
Dude,
a lot of
Marshawn Lynch. Like, bro, he was like, dude, before he got hurt, dude, he was insane. And then, yeah, when he got hurt, he was never the same. I thought last year with Sean Payton, right? I thought that was the year he was really gonna take off,
yeah,
and he didn't. And that's
right,
what was kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
it's like, why didn't Sean Payton use him more? I feel like it was really like because he was
I
bad.
mean, they did throw him a bunch of
They
passes.
but they didn't like you look at Javante, he's a rugged runner. Like,
Yeah,
bro, like it's like,
grinder, yeah.
and Sean Payton wants to run the ball, so why he didn't
I just think
try to
maybe in Dallas this offensive line is just really kind of
I
helping him
mean,
be the Javonte he could really be.
100%. I mean, he's a starting running back, and like I agree, like Dallas has a good offense, and the way they're featuring him, hell yeah, he's a great value. A lot of people weren't sold because of what we saw last year,
Yeah,
but I think it was more of a reluctance of Sean Payton not using him. Like I thought he should have used him more as like a Mark Ingram than that pass catching role or whatever he was trying to do. But yeah,
right.
man, props to whoever, saw the vision and hit, because dude, you got like what, a high end RB2 at least, as in one of the last rounds. Like that's awesome, man. And I don't know if we'll ever be the ceiling he was once gonna have, but I do think he's a solid football player, and
Well,
he's definitely.
how about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones? Everybody was slamming them for not taking a running back, for not getting Derrick Henry, and they got freaking Javonte for $3 million, cheap as shit. So yeah, I mean, props to the Cowboys as well for taking a chance on Javonte, and it's looking like a steal right now. So all right, but Jaden Blue, do you think do you have any interest in
No,
him?
nah, man. Like I just love the way Javante's playing. I honestly, how I view, and
What do
by
you
the
think?
way,
Let's
he's
just say
he's he's
let's
he's RB3 right now. By the way, Javante Williams in
That's insane.
PPR.
Let me just put this question to you: if you're a Javante owner, are you adding Jaden Blue or no?
Oh no, I mean I don't like handcuffs. I don't. I like try to maximize my roster spots. If you like having handcuffs, if you want to be a secure person, definitely add him.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm good on Jaden Blue right now. I
If
just
Javante got hurt, how do you think the backfield would shake out?
let me look at their depth chart really
Think
quick.
Phil Maffa comes back and does a little something?
Nah, I like the fact that Jaden Blue just came back and he already saw 20% of the snaps his first game back. So gut would tell me they like Jadon Blue a lot more than Maffa, even though I liked Maffa.
I
I
think
saw
Maffa's
the
still
vision.
hurt. I think he's still hurt, isn't he?
If he's hurt, then and
He's
he's
hurt. Yeah.
dude, I actually like him. Like, if you want to be a dog, I think he wouldn't be a bad stash then, you know? Like, oh my God, especially if Javante got hurt. But yeah, that's another. Yeah, he is on the IR. Good call,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
So that's a guy to keep an eye on.
For
Put him
sure.
on your
For
watch
sure.
list because he's
Yeah.
a big physical running back. So if you ever saw Javante Williams injury, it kind of might be like with Benson, right? Everybody's knee jerk reaction was DeMarcado, but
Yeah.
they went with Carter. It could be something like that. But good call, man. I love Maffa out of Clemson.
Yeah, Jaden Blue, 4 for 7 on 18% snap share. All right, let's see if there's anybody else here. I think we covered a lot of the guys here. Let's just talk about some handcuffs real quick and whether or not you are going to continue to stash these guys. Just give me a yes or no. If you want to give me a brief explanation on these handcuff stashes. Brian Robinson.
Yes,
Now, are you stashing him only if you're a CMC owner or in general?
in general,
Yeah, I think so too.
dude.
Do you think that
Oh,
you'd use Garendo though a little bit more?
no,
I mean, Robinson kind of like, yeah, he's an underrated receiver too. So like he would get that to get those that
I think
usage.
he'd get a bell cow roll. That's just
Yeah,
my gut
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. I think you have to hold him. Blake Corum,
Yes.
DJ Giddens.
Yeah, just because of like like these are high upside guys. So yes,
Are now all these are you're stashing regardless if you're the number one owner, the Kyron or the Jonathan Taylor owner.
if you have an extra roster spot, absolutely. You have nothing like what
Yeah.
you're shooting for upside anyway. So why not?
Yeah, I generally agree with all of these because they're all on prolific offenses and they're going to get great opportunities.
Mhm.
Ollie Gordon, I'm going to say I'm not. If I
No,
can
I'm
cut
out.
him, I'd cut him. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Jalen Wright, I don't know. He's not getting any usage, but Ollie Gordon really hasn't shown much.
Dude, I like Jalen Wright. I don't know what's up with him, man. I thought Jalen Wright was going to be good. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I thought he looked good in college. I thought he scared a lot of people off A-Chan last year. Kyle Monangai, he stinks, dude. I just don't like Kyle Monangai.
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna fade the Bears.
he doesn't
Yeah,
look like an NFL running back to me. I don't know.
I hate the Bears coach. What's his name? Ben Johnson.
You hate
I
him? Why?
love no, just because like, bro, like I don't like coaches that aren't leaders. Like, dude, he comes out and the first thing he does as a Bears head coach is basically like, takes a dump on Jared Goff. It's like, bro, what? That's
Yeah,
like crazy to do. And I just think it says a lot about you.
yeah.
So I thought it was nice to see the Lions hand them a big humble
He
pie.
also thought he was the smartest guy in the room when he took Loveland over Tyler Warren.
100%, bro. This
Uh,
is why it's very satisfying. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Like I just a
um,
little too cocky for me.
I think what the hell? Like, let's give Roshan Johnson a freaking a chance coming out of the bye. Like, is
He
Manungai
got
really
screwed,
showing
man.
anything?
I think he just got screwed. Like the regime that took him, they never used him, and now it's like it's a completely I'm sorry, new coach. But yeah, man, like polls, like I don't know. I loved him coming out of Texas. I thought he was stuck behind. Who's in front? Bijan, right? I think Bijan was in front.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he looked. I liked him a lot coming out. He didn't really look that great in the NFL, and then he had that game where he got rocked in the head, and I think he was out like 2 or 3 games with a concussion, and he kind of like really hasn't shown much, and he's kind of been a little bit injury prone. But like he was hurt in coming into camp in like week 1, but now he's had the bye week. He's been healthy for like 2 3 weeks. Like use him, give him a shot at this point. Let's see what he could do. It's not like Swift and Manungai look that good, so I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Roshan's another guy to pay attention to too. Like, if you want to take a chance on some upside, like Roshan could come in and maybe be the best back on his team.
it's rare to see like a new offensive minded head coach, a new offensive coordinator come in and use old toys when they drafted new ones. Sometimes it happens, but most of the time they're gonna just use the guys they have. You know what I mean? Just the nature of it. And I think that's what's happening with Roshan, where it was like, yo, it would be interesting. Like, one game, put him in a featured role. Let's see what happens. You spent the 4th round pick on him. But
Yeah.
is what it is. I think that's just the Bears are a bad organization. Like you took Loveland over Tyler Warren.
Hoff says, I don't know how you two Yankee fans are doing this show during the NLDS. You have my respect. Well, you know what it is, bro. We want to try to keep this show consistent, and I could still watch the game here. It's only the 4th inning, so hopefully we'll get out of here by like the 6th, 7th, maybe. But 6-3 now. Yankees fighting back a little bit. We've got plenty of time to come back. ALDS. We got some more good questions here, Ernie. But let's get through one more guy handcuffed. Chris Rodriguez, after seeing the Bill performance, are you cutting bait on Chris Rodriguez or are you still holding him?
Cutting.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's move to the receivers now. Let's talk about Jalen Coker. Sounds like he's going to be possibly coming back this week. Do you think he takes a step up over Leggett? Do you think he starts to perform? I mean, Bryce Young hasn't. I mean, he played terrible early in that game. Played a little bit better down the stretch. I mean, McMillan's the number one. He's really not doing all that much. He's kind of been steady, like 670, 580. But he's not going nuts. Like, does Bryce Young have it in him to have both these guys start producing? Or do you think maybe Coker comes in and maybe helps McMillan out and Bryce Young a little bit out? What do you think?
I love that you brought up Jalen Coker. This shout out to Hoff because Hoff's been all over him. He's one of my favorite ads this week for wide receiver. Only because here's why. You look at like his advanced metrics from last year. Like, bro, he's in like.
Well, you're way off on that one, bro. Come on now.
Well, he's like.
You are way off. He says they're Yankee fans. Like, only loud when it's good. I was telling Hoff real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good, man.
I was at Game 7 for Boone, so that was incredible. But then I was there the next year when they dropped 4 straight to Boston. I was at Game 7. It was like 11-3 in like the 4th inning after Kevin Brown got rocked, and I'm still going freaking nuts saying, let's go. Everybody's like telling me to shut up. I'm like clapping loud as shit. So yeah, no, I never left the Yankee game early in my life. Just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, go ahead, Ernie, my bad.
Yeah, Cocker. Yeah, no, his yeah, whatever. His numbers last year were really good. Like he had like crazy underlying metrics. So I think he's gonna play the slot role. Yeah, I think he'd be a good number 2 behind Tet.
All right, so are you pretty excited about Coker coming back in this offense?
Yeah, he's the highest upside, especially in like deeper leagues. I think he's probably like
Yeah.
the most rewarding potential
Who would you
pickup.
rather have rest of the year, Coker or A. Manor?
Coker.
I think I agree with you. All right, let's talk about a guy you wanted to talk about, Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne has shown flashes, but obviously he's in one of the best situations he's ever been in. Playing in that Shanahan offense. With Ricky Pearsall and Jennings continuing to battle through injuries. Kendrick Bourne absolutely went off with Mac Jones. So Kendrick Bourne, do you feel comfortable with him for maybe one more week streaming him as like your wide receiver 3?
Hell yeah, especially if Mac Jones is starting. Like, I love Bourne this week. Like, if Pearsall and Jennings are both out, that's obvious. But even if one of them are out, right? Preferably you'd want Pearsall out because I feel like he fits his role better. But um, I just like him with Mac Jones. I think he's a good streamer, and I think he could be a good weapon for them moving forward too. Yeah, I mean, 140 yards isn't I don't think that's a happens by accident. But yeah, I mean, Mac Jones looks phenomenal right now. He looks much better than Brock Purdy too. Again, we see this trend across the NFL lately where all these quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round look terrible on their teams that drafted them, and then they go to better organizations and they look great. So this could be a real breakout with Mac Jones, and it's going to kind of put the Niners in a funny predicament, but a good predicament, I think. Doesn't hurt to have two good quarterbacks.
I wanted to bring this up yesterday, but I found this tweet from Anthony. You see that?
Wow, Anthony, let's go, my guy.
Yeah, man. So we're rooting hard for this one. Anthony
Man,
absolutely
now I
loves Mac
am.
Jones.
Dude, I love me some Mac Jones too, bro. Oh my God.
Anthony always said that if Shanahan wanted Mac Jones and if Mac Jones was the starting quarterback, they would win a Super Bowl with Mac Jones. So
I mean, dude, they're 4-1. That
yeah,
would be amazing. I would love to see it happen. Wow. Anthony had Mac Jones. I had Daniel Jones. Maybe it's something with the Joneses, brother.
Did you?
Maybe keeping up with the Joneses, baby. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But shout out, obviously, Anthony will be repping him all season long.
That's our
Here on the
boy.
Face Off Sports Network, him and Hoff built this up from scratch, so we're keeping it going. Back to the receivers here. And again, guys, be patient. We're going to get to your questions. Like, subscribe, share. If you want to do a super chat, we'll get to it ASAP. Looks like we do actually have one more super chat from Will. I can't let an opportunity to talk shit to a New York fan go. Read my other comments.
$5.
Jason, Leslie, Jalen Cocker. I barely know her. Will's the man, bro. What can I say?
Bro, he paid 5. That's actually hilarious. Will, I love you, man. Oh my God.
Dude, that's gonna pay for
He
$1
typed that out while he was laughing, eating a Crunchwrap Supreme, giggling his little ass off. That's hilarious.
Crunchwrap Supreme. Will
Dude, but Cocker, I'm in on Cocker, dude. That's a high upside pick. I mean,
Joe
bro,
Cocker.
in theory, Carolina's gonna probably be throwing every game. So except when they're playing the Dolphins, because then Rico Dowdle looks like Bo Jackson. So
Dude, well, first the Dolphins were like tapping him on the shoulder a couple times, but shout out to Rico Dowdle. Like that was
how did we not bring him up? That's kind of like shame on us for not bringing him up. Like, yeah, dude, that's another one.
Bring up Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, dude. Like, all right.
Hold on. Why am I not bringing up Rico Dowdle? I know I wrote him down somewhere. No, I didn't.
No, it's all.
I guess. Oh wait, his ownership is 58%, so that's probably why. He's owned in most leagues, but yeah, if he's out there, obviously, he's going to be the number one pickup this week.
Is Hubbard on the IR?
No, Hubbard's day to day. So the thing is, like, Canales kind of likes to use that one back, and but whoever they use, like, usually balls out. We saw with Hubbard last year. We saw Rashad White a couple years ago.
Well, they just paid Hubbard, so it's his job.
Right, they paid Hubbard. So, like, you'd have to think that Dowdle, after a 200-yard rushing game, like, he's definitely. Do you think it's going to be like a like a 60-40
I
now,
mean, bro,
or
he looked like Maurice Jones-Drew. I don't know. Like no, I can't. I think it's nice. I think that it's nice that they know they have a nice punch behind him, right? But I think this is Hubbard's job. I mean, I think it's crazy for a team to pay a running back that much money and then, a running back that you paid to be like a depth fill-in is
Haskins.
just as good. So,
Yeah, Jason Sparrow says Haskins is pure cheeks.
bro, we ain't arguing with
Pure
you.
cheeks.
I just want the starter. That's all. I think he has the best opportunity to be the starter for the Chargers. But Jason, I do not disagree with you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
I
That's
think
all.
he's just a
That's
big flogger. Like I
right.
think what's
Exactly.
your realistic stat line you want from Haskins when you start him this week? You want
14 for
10 to 15
yeah,
carries for
yeah,
40 to
yeah.
60 yards and
Touchdown.
hopefully he just falls
Yeah,
in the end zone.
right,
Good
right.
week.
By the way, he's got the Ecto Cooler picture. That's a throwback for the high C. Remember those growing up. All right. Back to the receivers here. I think we cleaned up on the running backs. Yeah, that we added Dowd, although again, high ownership. That's why I didn't mention him, but probably should have talked about after his
Yeah.
monsters performance.
200 yards. My bad.
Let's talk about Ryan Flournoy,
Yeah.
0% owned. Huge game for him. Kavontae
Mhm.
Turpin did not play in this game, so he stepped up. He did pretty damn good. Obviously, he went off for a 100-yard performance, 6 for 114 on 9 targets, 57% snap share. We still don't know when CD's coming back. Looks like he's starting to churn up. It's maybe another week or two for CD. Turpin might be back this week as well. But how do you feel about Flournoy as a streamer this week if you need him?
It was kind of like what I was trying to say before is like I think the Cowboys are the Bengals of the NFC just last year. You know what I mean? Like insane offense, terrible defense. So it's awesome for fantasy because you're going to be high scoring games every week, even with bad teams, right? So I love him as a streamer as long as CD Lamb is out. So whether that's another week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think he's a nice play like in a pinch. But if CD comes back, then I would probably just drop him because
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to be able to feed him when they
Yeah,
got
I wouldn't
Pickens and
I wouldn't
CD.
be surprised. Like, we saw Tolbert, Tolbert's really not that good. I kind of thought Tolbert was good, but then I kind of gave up on him. But we could see Turpin go off. We could see Tolbert have a big game or Flournoy. So I wouldn't get overly excited about it. Not like Kendrick Bourne with those two guys out because he's just going to get the rock.
Yeah,
For
Kendrick
sure.
Bourne's my favorite stream. Like if you had to
Yeah.
pick just like a streamer this week,
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne, because at least one of those receivers is not going to come back.
But do you see any long-term value in Flournoy, or you don't see that?
No, I think if you want the long-term play, the cerebral pick would be
Coker.
Cocker. Yeah, Coker. However the hell you want to say his fucker's name. But yeah, that's him because it's like I could see him being the number 2. I think they said he's going to be the slot receiver.
Yeah.
So there's definitely PPR value there. I'm going to call him Cocker just because I like that better now.
Yeah.
Jalen Cocker. Let's go.
Oh shit! They just dropped a freaking pop up.
Who did?
Let's go.
Blue Jays? They're
Blue Jays,
choking.
yeah.
Pressure's getting to him.
Yeah, this is looking good right now. All right. Malik Washington, I thought, I don't know. I don't know what he's really going to do. I mean, 4.5 yard A dot. He did the same thing in the preseason, caught a bunch of low passes. So, I think it's going to be Waddle. I think Darren Waller is a thing. We're going to get to him. And so I don't know about Malik Washington. I kind of had a little bit more high hopes for him. He could get volume where he's catching like 5, 6, 7 balls. What do you think about him as an ad?
I'm fading.
I added him some spots last week, but I'm not excited about it.
I see your vision there, and I like it because it's like, all right, somebody's got to step up behind Waddle. I think obviously that's going to be Darren Waller, right? He's going bananas, but I'm going to fade Malik Washington. He's a guy for me. Again, I know a lot of people were in on him, 5th round pick. What's his face loves him, so his role could grow. But he's a player I want to see at first,
What do you think about Isaiah Bond now with Cedric Tillman on the IR and Dylan Gabriel?
It's tough, man. Like I like Bond, because I do think he was a second, third round pick, definitely a day two guy. Um, I just don't know if I trust him with Dylan Gabriel. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that like if Flacco is still playing, I'd kind of like him a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, he's got to deal with Fannin, Njoku, and
Yeah.
Judy, and a lot of Quinshon Junkins as well. But I do like Bond, 6% owned. I don't mind taking a chance on him. There's some people that thought he was better than Golden coming out. So, take it for what it's worth. But Alec Pierce with Adonai now in the doghouse, he might be coming back. What do you think about Alec Pierce?
Bro,
The rest of the way?
love that. Love that one. That's
4%,
a great name drop.
4% owned.
Dude, he is a dog. He actually
I agree.
graded out like a top 15 wide receiver right now. Okay. Not saying that, but if you like PFF, I think he's wide receiver 15, or he was the week that he got hurt. So for 4 weeks. I think we could all agree the Colts offense is real, right? We could at least all say it's a good offense. Um, and he's the number two receiver across from Pittman. I think we finally started to see some life from Josh Downs. I was a big Josh Downs believer. I think actually it's ironic the year he finally gets like good quarterback play. They get a tight end that they could just put in the
Yeah.
slot like he's Travis Kelce. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of why we didn't see that Josh Downs explosion that some of us thought were going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Alec Pierce, man. Like, now that because Mitchell has so much upside, it scares you. Because
Yeah.
it's like when is that breakout gonna happen? I think right now Adani is a good dynasty stash. Like I would actually buy low on him now while everybody's like disgusted with him.
Dynasty, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
stash him for a year or two in the incubator, right? Put him on your taxi squad. But
Mhm.
dude, Alec Pierce right now, man, just because I think the Colts offense will keep humming. And DJ likes going to him, man. Like, dude, I think he's
He's
one of the
reliable.
better.
He's
Bro,
reliable.
if you were throwing up a deep ball right now, right?
I knew he was legit last year when he burnt freaking who the hell's the starting corner on the Texans?
Stingley?
Stingley, yeah. He
Yeah,
burnt Stingley and the safety, and he like twice in that game he went for deep bombs. Like Jones will throw it up. They'll give the guys a chance. Pierce is
dude.
reliable, man. Like, yeah, I like adding him 100%.
Dude, 100%, dude. He was a stud coming out of Cincy, second round pick. A lot of people forget that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I kind of love this. A lot of it's underrated, but I think he's year 4. So it might be a contract year for him. Um,
Year 3 or 4. Yeah, I think it is
yeah,
4.
this is year 4.
Yeah.
So like, he wants to get paid, but yeah, his, week 1 wasn't too good, but then after that, Denver and Tennessee, 5 targets, 4 catches both games, 68, 67 yards.
Yeah.
So, man, like, if he and the touchdowns will come. I mean, he's coming back for who? Arizona, week 6. So, Arizona, Chargers, Tennessee. So yeah, I'm in on Pierce. Good player, good offense. I think he's another one that could be. He's definitely an ascending player.
Yeah, 100% agree. Christian Kirk only 31% owned. He caught a bomb last week, but just 6 for 45. But it was encouraging to see Stroud play great. Now it was against the Ravens defense, which is looking like trash. They just made a trade for with the Chargers for a corner. They traded Hefe, or they traded their DN for a corner. I don't know how much that's going to really help them, but
Yeah,
he's a guy.
they
He's a
did a
guy
lot.
that's somewhat. He's a guy that's somewhat interesting, though. Kirk, I mean, he's always been kind of decent. One more name here at the receiver position is well, Darnell Mooney's only 35% owned. I mean, I think if he's like always hurt though. But I mean, Darnell Mooney is a talented receiver with Penix. There's not that many targets,
Right.
so like Mooney's a guy you have to add if he's out there,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know how much in love I am with Penix this year. I think Mooney, if you're thin at receiver, he's not a bad guy to have. hopefully, it just starts to become a little more consistent with him and Penix. But yeah, I think we all know what Darnell Mooney's
Oh
capable of.
shit,
Uh-oh.
dude,
Home
dude,
run?
dude.
Judge home run?
Yes.
Let's
Light it
go.
up. 6-6, Judge, baby.
Oh
Holy
my
shit. Let's
God.
go.
Judge with a clutch home run.
Oh,
No way. Dude, maybe it is our year,
oh,
Steve.
baby. Dude, this is
If Judge is going to be clutch,
I'm fucking
dude,
amped up now. Tomorrow's
hell
gonna be.
yeah.
We're gonna win.
How
We
are
got.
they going to, how could they lose this game now? Wow. Holy crap.
Oh man, I'm fucking souped right now.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. I'm juiced too.
All right, dude. Oh wow, that was fucking.
Wow. Judge is clutch now.
Dude,
Let's
he
go.
fucking jacked that like a fucking wiffle ball on the fucking
Oh
bat,
my
bro.
God. King Judge.
So it's 6-6, bottom
Let's go.
4. Judge is 3 for 3. All right. Torrey Horton. This kid is talented, 6% owned.
Dynasty
Um,
stash for me.
but what about in season this year with the way Darnold's balling out, the Seattle offense? Another touchdown for Horton last week. 4 targets, 48% snap share. What do you think about him rest of the year?
I mean, he scored last week. I didn't even know that. Yeah, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, his snap share's been kind of steady. It looks like it's hovering around 40%, little north of that. Games, it looks like he's, where he lives at is 4 targets, 2 to 3 catches, 30 to 30, like low 30s, high 30s with a touchdown. It's just like, could you imagine if Cooper went down? You know what I mean? If Cup went down, because then it's like, oh, he would get all his volume too. So, yeah, man. I mean, you're in deeper leagues, and you kind of he's in terms of wide receiver handcuffs, he's another one. And what if JSN went down? You know what I mean? Holy crap! So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, definitely I love him as a dynasty stash, but
Seattle 11 personnel 44% of the time. That's kind of split with the 12. They're split 44 and 44 there. So, yeah, I mean, he's playing a decent amount, and he may earn more and more targets as the season goes on. He may get a little bit more usage. And if there's an injury, I definitely like stashing him. I kind of looked at him, but then I didn't really see it until a couple weeks into the year, and like I added him a couple weeks ago, so I'm just kind of stashing him for now.
right.
I can't really use him at this point, but I think he's definitely a good stash. All right. What about coming out of the bye week, Luther Burden? Do you think they're going to use him a little bit more, just 11%?
He's an upside play, if you think his role is going to grow, but I don't know, man. I kind of like it looks like the Rome show right now, and then I don't know if DJ Moore is going anywhere. So I'm personally I'm just out on Luther.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I don't know how many guys. I know a lot of people have been talking about like add Loveland, add Burden. Like, I think people are just kind of overestimating like how many guys are really going to be relevant in this freaking offense. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm not too crazy about it. Some stashes that we like: Christian Watson. They open up the 21-day practice window. Jaden Reed still with the collarbone. It's going to take Watson probably a couple of games to get geared up, but I mean, arguably he could be the best receiver on the team. I mean, Dobbs has looked good, but I think Watson's a good little stash right now, and this is probably the week to grab him for cheap. So if you want to get him in this offense, you need some wide receiver help. I like it. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I was just answering a text. Who was that?
Christian Watson.
Here's the thing. I'm just kind of out on the Packers wide receiver room because I just feel like it's so volatile. I was really big on
It is.
Matt Golden. I thought Matt Golden was going to be the number one receiver, kind of like Love was missing. And again, it's still early, so that could still happen. Like, if you look at St. Brown's, rookie year, he didn't take off till like the second half. So, Jaden Reed is on the IR with the broken collarbone. Golden kind of fits his role perfectly. So we'll see. I just don't know if I trust the Packers wide receivers right now at all.
Yeah, I like smashing them. We've seen what Dobbs has done. And, Love's going to have those games where he throws to like 3-4 touchdowns every once in a while, have those big games. He's kind of been proven inconsistent, though. Like, he throws off his back foot and has some shitty games. But, Yeah, no, I kind of like him. I kind of like Watson as a late, maybe like emerges later in the season. Another one, Brandon Ayuk. We still don't know when he's coming back. He's been mostly held in most leagues, 44% owned. But if Ayuk is out there, you could put him on your IR,
Why
100%.
not?
I would add him and just wait.
Why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to the tight ends now. Mason Taylor is the big name, just 13%. You should have probably added him last week. We were talking about him last week. We were talking about how Fields, elevated Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet had a career season 2 years ago with Justin Fields, and there's nobody else in the building. I mean, you're talking about Tyler Johnson, Alan Lazard, Josh Reynolds, a bunch of number 5 receivers. So Taylor, man, he looked good last week. And Fields, they're playing catch up. Obviously, there was a lot of volume, but Fields likes to take those underneath routes. He's trying not to turn the ball over and force things if he doesn't have to, which is smart by him. And he's going to take those 6-7 yard routes to Taylor underneath. And Wilson's going to get the bracket coverage, double team. So it's going to be like, it's going to be him and Taylor. And that's it really in the receiving game with some Brees. And Taylor, I thought not only was catching the ball, but he also looked good too. Like, making some strong catches, 9 for 67 on 12 targets, 84% snap share. Started the season slow because he was a little bit hurt. So he slowly got burned in. How excited are you about Mason Taylor?
Yeah, no, I really like Mason. He's a really good player coming out of LSU. I thought it was a really good, like, this is probably one of the better tight end draft classes ever. So there was a lot of good offensive minds that liked him. So yeah, Fields, like it is like funny. Like you look at Fields, like one of the positions that kind of flourishes with him is tight end. I think that's why people loved Loveland this year. But I mean, they love Loveland because what was it? I'm sorry, I'm mixing up names now. That's why they loved Fields. Sorry, that's why they love Field. No, not Fields. Taylor. It's bedtime for me. No, that's why they
Oh,
like
yeah, bro. I
Mason
got to get you
Taylor
that. I got to
because,
get you the espresso machine, bro.
well,
Go ahead.
yeah, because it's like what is it? Because Fields, they don't have any tight ends there, and Fields, they tight ends do really good with Fields. So you're finally starting to see Mason Taylor take a step. I would say this: I do like Darren. Like if Darren Waller was still available, I think I would prefer him over Mason Taylor right now. But I do really like Mason Taylor, especially in the role that he's in, the snap share that he's getting. Fields is starting to build trust with him. I mean, 12 targets, that's what sticks out the most to me.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think it's going to be a good connection the rest of the year. Waller, obviously, I don't see his percentage here, but he should have been added last week after what we saw, the 2 touchdowns. He continues again this week, and he hasn't been playing that much either. So if he's out there, he's 100% smash pickup. Spend a pretty penny to get him. Even if you have a tight end, just add that talent, keep him away from the rest of the league. Another tight end I wanted to mention here was Theo Johnson, 2 touchdowns last week in the first half. He's a big freaking dude, man. 11% with no neighbors now. I know you said you're out on all Giants, but if you need tight end help, I mean, Theo Johnson's not a bad option, right?
Again, I'm fading him. I think there's like, I rather go with like a Jake Tongs right now over Theo Johnson.
Yeah, but long term, Tongs is going to be out of a job in a week or two. So
100%. Whenever Kittle comes back, not arguing that at all.
yeah.
I think he'd be a better streamer. But yeah, man, like I would probably prioritize Taylor. All these other guys that we're saying, Darren Waller, these are obvious. But yeah, I mean, if you really, really need a tight end, I mean, why not? He scored the last 2 weeks. Dart likes him. So yeah, I don't think he's a bad guy if you have to spot start a tight end. No.
Yeah, 82% snap share, 6 for 33, 2 touchdowns, 7
Well, he's getting
targets.
the red zone looks. That's all that counts, really.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Especially if you need a spot start, somebody just, your starting tight ends on a bye week. He's a great play. Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll probably be inconsistent, but like, I don't, again, we like Dart is looking pretty good. There's no neighbors. There's only so many weapons to go around. Taysom Hill. I mean, I think you add Taysom Hill. I mean, he's gonna have some monster games. He's gonna have at least 2 or 3 monster games before the season's over, and it could be like a 20 or 30 point game. He seems like he does that every single year. He has like a 20 or 30 point game. So you deal with the inconsistency, But when he's part of the game plan or they have to use him, they get some injuries. Like Taysom Hill has it in him to just go off. So
Right.
I like adding him as well for cheap. AJ Barner, dude, this guy's starting to come alive a little bit. Just 2% owned. I just mentioned it before. They're playing 44% 12 personnel with him and Arroyo out there. So I like adding him. What do you think about AJ Barner? Big body.
I mean, dude, this was crazy. 7 for 7, 53 and 2 touchdowns. Like, you know, you the few weeks before it was like 3 for 26 a tutty, 1 for 23, and then 3 for 32 and a tutty. And he was like a blocking tight end coming out of Michigan.
Yeah.
So it's like, was this for real? You know, and they just drafted Elijah Arroyo. But I mean, now, man, I think this is the tight end they're most comfortable with. You know, they might prefer him because he's a good blocker, but now they're realizing like he could be a pretty good receiver too. So, I mean, dude, 753, 2 touchdowns. I would pick him up.
Yeah.
Especially if you need a tight end, man.
Long-term potential too. And that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, let's see. I want to see his snap share. I just want to see if his snap share spiked this week.
I was kind of hating on Barner because some people were bringing him up as a sleeper. I'm like, this guy's a big stiff, but he looks pretty good in this offense. So I'll give him credit.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Jake Tons, good pickup for this week if you need a tight end, if you're a George Kittle owner, but that's going to erase after a couple weeks. Evan Ingram finally gets back in the mix, 4 for 33. He's 8% owned. I see he's been cut in some high stake leagues too. So, yeah, I mean, you take the chance on Evan Ingram. There's a chance that Bo Nix starts to look his way a little bit more as the season goes on, as he gets a little bit more familiar with him. Chigo Kwanko is kind of getting hurt by Gunnar Helm, so I don't know how excited I am, but they started to use him down the stretch of last game. Dalton Schultz didn't score a touchdown, but it's been pretty steady. I don't know about Dalton Schultz; he's gonna be too inconsistent. Anything else on the tight end, or you want to move on to the questions now?
I do have a name for people like a deep stash or like people like kind of like a look ahead play. Terrence Ferguson. There was a Terrence Ferguson sighting in the Niners game, and you just imagine
the one big catch, right? Yeah.
Right. And I'm just starting to think like, okay, because they were really high on this kid, where they were thinking about taking him in the first round. And you know, again, rookies sometimes they take a little more time to get acclimated to the playbook, whatever it is, coach's comfortability with using them. But maybe this is the start of that, because it's like they haven't really been getting production out of their tight ends. So something to monitor.
All right. Let me just mention a couple. Hoff has the kickers covered. Watch that video on the Faceoff Sports Network. Pete does the defensive streamer video as well. But I will mention a couple defenses here. What do you think about the Steelers versus Cleveland? That's 71% owned against Dylan Gabriel. That's not a bad one, right?
No, I like that start a lot.
What about the Colts versus Kyler Murray? 49%.
Love that start.
The Rams versus Cooper Rush. I know the Rams underwhelmed and killed a lot of people last week. So they might get cut. Maybe you can pick them up this week. I think you'd like them against Cooper Rush.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Come
on. Some deeper ones here. I don't really see anything else. Cowboys at Carolina. I don't know about that. What do you think?
I don't got the stones to play that, man.
I mean, the Cowboys defense got a little more pressure, but the Jets just weren't protecting well. Chargers might not be a bad one against the Dolphins. I know a lot of people probably cut the Chargers defense. Could you argue for the Raiders or Titans defense against one another?
No, maybe the Raiders. Yeah. I actually like a team that's been dropped 40% from last week. They're 46% ownership. Packers. They're playing the Bengals. And there's no way Joey Cool is starting yet, so we don't have to sweat just yet. But I like the Packers this week. I think they'll kill the Bengals.
Yeah, you're right. But with the bye week, a lot of people probably dropped them, so they're probably available in a decent amount.
Hell yeah, that actually probably, if like I need a defense this week, I'm definitely playing them 100%.
If you had the Browns last week, hold on to them again this week against Rodgers. They should get some sacks, maybe some turnovers. I don't mind that. Patriots against the Saints, man. The Patriots have a great schedule. They were one of the best streaming pickups to start the year because of their schedule. Last week, you didn't think so much against the Bills, although they played pretty well. They shut down James Cook, and now they get Spencer Rattler and the Saints. So I like that one if they're out there somehow. Yankees get out of the inning after a leadoff double. Judge makes a diving catch, 6-6 now, bottom of the fifth. All right, man, let's get to the questions. Kronster says, Amari in Hampton, sigh. I am sad as is
Dude,
Ernie.
I'm heartbroken.
Ronaldo
That was my seasons.
Ronaldo Ricon says Mason Taylor or Kyle Pitts. I think we answered Mason
Taylor.
Right?
Yeah, that's Mason Taylor.
It also says Stafford or Darnold. That's an interesting one. Is that for the rest of the year or just this week? I guess you could go with both there.
Wow. That because I love both of them. Let me just look this up really quick because I really like Stafford's rest of year schedule. Just want to see Q.
Stafford gets the
running
Ravens
ahead,
this week. Darnold gets
give me
the Jags.
Stafford, man. Give me Stafford. I'm gonna
I'm
go.
with
This is Stafford's year. I'm gonna go with
I'm-
Stafford there, but I
I'm with
love
you.
Sam Darnold. That's not an easy choice.
Hoff says, be sure to hit that like button. Yes, subscribe. Ronaldo says, thank you. Our boy Jamie says, what's up?
Hello, Jamie.
He's been busy doing about 5 live podcasts a week, so having much time for your live episodes. But yeah, coming when you can. Is Sauce contract a potential regret for the Jets?
Yes.
I mean, it could be. He's not playing. Dude, I don't know what he was doing against George Pickens. He's like touchy feeling with him, never turns his freaking head around to see the ball. I was watching Revis highlights the other day. Like every time Revis would just turn his head around perfect and like break up the pass. Like he was so freaking good. So Sauce, yeah, he's kind of regressed since his rookie year. So it's not looking good right now. There's Hoff with the Flacco chiming in.
Told you he'd love that. At least he would agree with me.
Will says, God dang, look at these sexy talking heads. Steve out here looking like a South Jersey Jason Statham from North Jersey, but I guess Jason Statham's from South Jersey. I don't know. And I swear I ordered Jason Momoa from a reputable TikTok link, and then Ernie shows up at my door. All right. Jay, man, that's a compliment. Jason Momoa is a good looking mofo.
Dude, I appreciate that, Will. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Jason Statham and Momoa in the next movie. Bowers or Mason Taylor?
That's trolling. He's trolling. Come on,
Bowers
man.
plays, I was thinking flexing Mason Taylor. I have Jameson Williams and Khalil Shakir and BTJ on my bench. Don't have too many options. So he wants to flex Taylor with Bowers, I guess.
I would just, if Bowers is playing. Oh, he's asking. Oh no, Bowers or Mason Taylor. Well, I would just, if Bowers is playing, then I put Bowers as my tight end, and I'd flex BTJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Jameson's been
That's how I would do that.
Jameson's just not getting Goff. Jameson is like setting up plays for Amon-Ra and like Laporte. Like he's just taking the defense. I saw a play last week where he took 3 guys with him, and Amon-Ra just caught like a 5-yard pass and ran it for like 15 yards. So he's going to be too inconsistent. Goff likes those short to intermediate throws. So yeah, go with BTJ. And yeah, if you got to go with Bowers over Taylor, just can't do that yet. We'll see if Bowers comes back this week. Al says thoughts on Theo Johnson. We covered that. DC says, are we all dropping that Woody Marks? No, you're not dropping Woody Marks right now. Right?
No, and I think if there's a small buy low window on him, especially in Dynasty, I think this will spook some people, and if you're in a league with one of those people who do have Woody Marks, I would try to trade for him because that's their running back of the future. In my opinion. I think they traded up for him with intent, even though
they did trade up for him. They did trade up for him, yeah.
And they gave up a pretty penny to get him. I think they gave like 3rd round picks to get him. So there has to be a vision, and they have to really like him because
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't you just wait to draft a running back in the 3rd round next year?
they're probably going to draft another running back next year, but is he going to be better than Woody Marks? We don't know. And then Mixon and Nick Chubb are going to be out of the way probably.
I mean, dude, if they draft another running back next year after you traded like multiple
Well,
3rd round
they have
picks,
to because Mixon's is he coming back? I don't know. And then Chubb is he
but
going to
dude,
last a year? They're going to have to
here's
draft somebody.
here's the thing: if you're trading multiple 3rd round picks to move up this year to take Woody Marks, and then you draft another running back,
Yeah, but you have to
I
have
would
more
be
than one
scared to
one
be a
running back.
Texas fan. I guess, man. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
but
think
I
you
mean,
get
they're going to have to sign somebody or draft
you need
somebody.
depth.
Yeah.
Depth, but we'll see. We haven't really seen like what Woody's fully capable of. I thought we got a glimpse last week.
Yeah,
You know, like seeing him feature
you
role.
like him more than me, so we'll see.
He was a
Um,
dog, dude. He was a dog at USC. He was a really good
I
player.
know, but like it's sometimes it's hard. Like I've swung and missed on. Oh, Jazz!
This guy, let me apologize for him. We're in the middle of a podcast and he's cheering for the Yankees.
Dude, that was sick. He fucking jacked that ball. All right, my bad. Yeah.
Judge bat, he hit another one.
Jazz Chisholm just
Jazz, let's
one,
go.
Yeah, he cranked it. Grant says, "Hey boys, do I start Diggs or Keenan Allen this week?"
Who's Buffalo playing?
Buffalo. You mean Patriots?
I mean the Patriots, yeah, dude. That's bad time for me. They're paying the Saints.
You were thinking the revenge game. Yeah, the
Bro,
Saints.
how is that a 3.5 point game? That has to be the craziest trap game of all time, or New England's beating them by 90.
Dude,
Like, what?
did you see Diggs on Sunday night? Dude, he was coked up or on Adderall or something.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that.
He was geeked up on something. I don't know.
Bro, yeah, his interview was like kind of weird. No, I agree with you. Now thinking about it, yeah, he was ready for that game. But,
yeah, dude, that was like his game of his lifetime. He wanted.
Yeah, dude, he needed that win.
I think he specifically went to New England to go get back at Buffalo.
Dude, I took New England money line, Stevenson touchdown. I took Stevenson over rushing. But
Wow.
Fat Boy wants to fumble. I think I actually would have hit if he didn't fumble on that first play. But yeah, dude, I should have just took Diggs because he wanted, dude. You're right. Game of his life. Agreed.
But do you think he keeps it going this week? I mean, he's playing that slot role now. They kind of moved Douglas out of the way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that they have him in and out. My thing is this. Based off the line, like looking at the line 3.5, I think I play him. I think I ride it, because your fear is that like the Patriots kill them and they don't have to throw the ball. But you know what? I'm gonna ride it. I think they're gonna use this as a spot to kind of like open up their offense a little bit. I mean, you're in a dome in New Orleans. Like I like that for fantasy. So yeah, give me Diggs this week. The thing is this, I actually really like the Keenan Allen play versus Miami. We were talking about that earlier. That's the thing but I'm gonna go with Diggs, man. I mean, he looks like Drake May, and Drake May looks awesome right now. He looks like an ascending breakout quarterback, and now he finally has a lung.
hell of a performance by Drake May.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. This is why a lot of people were saying, like, that was one of my best bets. What was it? Over 7.5 wins? What was it? 8.5? I don't know what whatever their spread. I took the over.
Probably 7.5, I would say. Maybe 6. Yeah, probably 7.5. I forget what it was.
That's what I was saying, man. I took the over on that. And
Vrabel's solid, man. He knows,
bro,
he's a coach.
I wish, dude, the Giants had a chance. They wanted to run this back, but yeah, dude, he came in there. He changed the culture. I think people were afraid. I mean, they had that week 1 loss to the Raiders. What was that? But could have just been. It's week 1. Teams weren't completely ready yet, but now I think you're starting to see like the brand of football that the New England Patriots are going to play this year. So yeah,
all right, so we're going with Diggs there. Dustin Wells says, "What's up, fellas? How much FAAB you dropping on Mason Taylor and Green Bay defense? Would you go Jags or Green Bay rest of the year? Thanks. I'd go Green Bay rest of the year. Although I do think the Jags defense is underrated. They have been showing out a little bit. Obviously huge play, pick 6, 99 yards. And But as far as Mason Taylor, how much FAAB you dropping on him? I'm dropping a pretty penny, especially if I need a tight end. I think Mason Taylor's gonna be pretty rock steady the rest of the year.
Yeah, if I need a tight end, I would drop like
Let's say let's
whatever you need to get them.
do an example. Let's do an example. You have $100 FAAB. You have $65 left. How much you dropping?
Really, I mean, the one thing I would say is this is like everybody knows their league mates better than you do. So like, if you really need a tight end, do whatever you gotta do to get them. Because I don't think there's many tight ends on the waiver wire with this much upside left. You know,
So what are you
second
going to
round
drop?
running
What are
back.
you going to drop? What are you going to drop? Like 40, 30, 25 if you have $65 left.
I don't know, man. $20, $25.
You think
Again,
that
it's like
gets it
how
done?
it's really what's left on your waiver wire. You
So
gotta, gauge
you're
the
saying
upside.
at least 50% of your FAAB.
Well, you said $65. I said 20 to 25. So no, I was at
Close.
33%.
Okay, yeah, a little bit less then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're going $25. I would say I'm going to go about 32 to $35.
I would spend that if I think that's what I need to get him. Like I just
Yeah.
think leagues are different. Like I'm in leagues where I
No,
know
you're
I
right.
have to like
Every league is different, and some guys will go nuts, some guys won't go nuts. You're right. But you can
So
feel
it's
out your league. You're right. Like some guys, you just don't know. They don't spend that much, right? So
yeah, and then there's some where you have to be aggressive, and it's like,
yeah,
yo, if my team is sick and I'm, 4-1, and I need a tight end, that's my weak spot. You know, get him. Do what you got to do to get him because it's like, who else has this much upside?
yeah. No, I agree. John Abruzzo says, "Sup, fellas? Do I trade Mahomes, Chuba, and Rico for Jaden Daniels and Brees?" Interesting trade there. Yes, 100%. I'm doing that. 100%.
I don't know, actually.
What? You don't know, bro.
I
Come on.
think I
Think
like
about it.
them.
Think about it.
I think I like the Mahomes and Chuba side.
Really? But
I don't.
you potentially have a split there. Chuba wasn't really doing that well beforehand. They just played the Dolphins, so Rico went nuts. He's never going to do that again in his life. Brees is obviously the guy. If he does get traded, he's going to get to a even better spot. And then you get Jaden Daniels versus
You're
Mahomes.
selling me. You're selling me a little bit there.
Very even. So.
I think Brees could get traded. I do agree with that.
But either way, Brees has been good. He's getting like 15, 16, 17 points a game.
You know what? You sold me. Let's go with your side. I just think Mahomes getting Rashi Rice back. They actually have like multiple receivers there now. Like they have a good like role players. And then I do like that you get a good handcuff to back up Chuba there, where it's like I don't think Chuba is that far off from Brees, at least fantasy production wise.
Yeah, you just don't know if like these guys maybe if Dowdle kind of hurts Chuba a little bit. But yeah, they did pay
That's a good
Chuba.
point.
They did pay Chuba, so a shitload of money. So.
I mean, that would be crazy, and it's just gonna make the running back people that don't want to pay running backs look right because it's like, dude, you didn't have to pay Chubb all that money then.
Right.
You could have just gave him a smaller contract and then brought in Rico, and boom.
But we do know whoever gets the usage in Canal system is pretty damn solid. They do seem to run block pretty well there in Carolina as well. So, yeah, I just think you're getting the secure guy with Brees, and Daniels could be better than Mahomes the rest of the way. I mean, he was way above him last year. So, Will says Ernie hates Ben Johnson.
I do.
He does. Will says, okay, time for a real question. Given the Flacco trade to Cincy, is now the best time to get the most for T. Higgins in a trade?
Yeah, but I almost feel like you want to wait and like wait till Flacco plays and like let him feed Higgins. Then I would trade him if you wanted to trade him. Let people get a taste, let them see it. Because right now you gotta sell them on the dream, and I don't know if a lot of people are gonna buy in on it yet. But I like Higgins and Chase with Flacco. That's all I'm gonna say. I think they both just got a lot of life injected into them in the fantasy world.
Chase Brown too, right? I mean, Chase Brown's gonna be catching dump offs left and right.
Dude, not even that. If they have a competitive offense now,
Yeah.
hell yeah, he's gonna get more valuable touches. They're more, better drives. So absolutely.
Yeah. Browning's like got handled a freaking gold platter and he fumbled it away.
Yeah, dude. You would think
Um,
like it's like you could be serviceable, bro. Come on, man. Like
yeah.
what?
Just turn it over left and right.
Dude, holy
Uh,
crap.
Will says Anthony from the Spirit Realm, like the new Big L release. Yes, Big L, rest in peace. Anthony, rest in peace. I haven't listened to that new Big L, by the way, but I'll check it out. I know Mobb Deep's got a new album as well. There's the Haskins, it's Pure Cheeks again. And he had a prediction. Access MIA says PPR drop Brian Robinson for Haskins or Vidal. Interesting.
It depends on how bad you need RB help for the next, 4 weeks. Because if you want the upside play would be Brian Robinson. If something ever happened to CMC, like holy crap. But if you need, production right away, I will go with Haskins and just pray that he is the running back that gets the most snaps, most goal line touches. I think that's what will happen.
Yeah, I think I'm only doing it if I'm really, really desperate for a running back.
Yeah.
Pick the best from Mega Brick says pick the best defense to stream this week. Chargers D at Miami, Commanders D versus Chicago, Pats D at Saints, or Dallas D at Carolina.
Pat's D at Saints.
I'm with you on that one.
That's
Day.
easy one. Money.
10 carries for 24 yards is the prediction
For Haskins, I love
Haskins
it. That's actually probably very accurate. Very accurate. Hopefully there's just a touchdown just cooked in there.
Garrett says wide receiver for depth off the wire, Bourne, Hollywood, or Mooney. I would say Mooney long term. If you need one guy and need a W this week, I'd go for Bourne.
Yep. Agreed.
Will says Dowdle is undoubtedly going to have himself against Dallas in a revenge game.
I agree. I do agree with that. I think that was another great stream this week because they can't stop the run. That game's going to be another shit show. Whereas again, like Dallas is just going to score a million points, and I don't really like. I think Carolina has a serviceable enough offense to put up points on Dallas. So yeah, give me some Rico Dowdle.
Evan Gittleman says need waiver help. Lost James Conner, Eckler, and now Hampton. Shit.
Sorry, buddy.
My running backs are now Scat and Kendre. Who do I pick up? Kareem Hunt, Haskins, or Vidal? Also got this trade offer, Travis Hunter for Michael Carter. I would pick up Hunt. That would be the guy I want. And I think that's the better long-term play there at all those guys. Although you do have Hampton, so you do get the cuff there. So, yeah, maybe Haskins there since you do have Hampton. What do you think?
I would say Haskins because he has Hampton. And then also, Evan, I would look to see if Rashard Smith is there. Because I feel like Rashard Smith is a nice little stash.
Agreed.
I don't know if I can give up on I think everybody was really bullish on Travis Hunter this year. So I think people are trying to buy low. Like Michael Carter, you would only get him for another 3 weeks.
Right.
So that's only like if you need to survive, then yeah, you almost have to do that because you get a starting running back for 3 weeks. But I would hold off on that, man. I think I would just try to get Haskins. Let's hope that we guess correctly, and that's the more valuable running back to have for the next 4 weeks. And then, yeah, rock it that way. Rashard Smith, though, like we said earlier, is like I think that's a long-term play in Kansas City.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be patient with Rashard Smith, but again, I think Reed and Nagy are slowly burning him in. They asked Reed last week about Smith getting more usage, and he said Nagy wants to get him on the field more and more as the season goes along, something of that nature. And we're kind of seeing that does fit that Jerick McKinnon role.
Dude, they're playing Detroit next week. That game is going to be insane.
That's a good spot to get Smith burned in.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
He's looked good too. It's like he's not making mistakes. He's bouncing off tackles. Like he's looking good.
I'm picking him up in some leagues because I think this is the week.
I drafted him in a lot. I've been holding him. I've been patient with him. I'm ready. I actually liked him. He was kind of exciting to me coming out.
Nice little 4th round dynasty pick.
As far as Hunter, yeah, like he's made some ridiculous plays this week. He's just not getting the volume. But the Jags, I mean, you see the type of plays he can make. Like he might be a more and more of a presence down the stretch. Agree with Ernie. Michael Carter is just a temporary option. So hold on to Hunter if you can. And you don't want to, if you don't desperately need a running back or try to move somebody else, maybe. Which option is best? Trade for Carter or pick up one of those waiver guys up?
Haskins is a Band-Aid and stash Rashard Smith.
Yeah, I'm with you. If you can't get Haskins, put Hunt as the second. Or you could do Vidal too, since, again, you are a Hampton owner. All right, Jason Ortiz says if Sticky Ricky is out, who to start? Wan'Dale Robinson or Shakir? I also got Pollard in my flex. Will you start him or start both Wan'Dale and Shakir? They said Spears will get more work. I'm sticking with Pollard, despite the Spears news. And then you go Wan'Dale or Shakir?
Shakir.
Yeah, I'm with you there as well. Jason also says start two: Pittman, Waddle, Rico, Jalen Warren. Jalen Waddle is definitely one. Who are you going with the other? Pittman or Warren?
Dude, that's crazy. I honestly don't think you can go wrong with any of these three: Pittman, Waddle, or Rico. I think Rico has if Chuba is out this week, Rico is an awesome spot start. But I think if you want to be safe, Pittman and Waddle, because Colts are playing Arizona. Like we just saw what Calvin Ridley did to Arizona. So I can only imagine what Michael Pittman's going to do. So yeah, Pittman and Waddle. But I would keep an eye on Rico. If Rico is playing and Chuba is out, I would actually consider him because Dallas's defense sucks. I think that's going to be a high scoring game.
I think I'd go with Waddle 100%, and then probably Jalen Warren if he's back healthy. But Pittman's not a bad one either. But yeah, if Chuba's out, I think you go Rico 100%. Jason also says start one. Ertz gave me 0 last week. Njoku, Theo Johnson, Tonjes, or AJ Barner. Interesting.
Tongs. I like what I've seen the most from Tongs, however you say his name. I think
they get the Bucks and a 47.5 total. It's not a bad one.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a high scoring game, and he's the starting tight end for them right now.
Browns get the Steelers. Dylan Gabriel did target his tight ends, I think 31%.
He did. He threw them a lot. I mean, I think I'd go with Tonges, and then I'd probably go with Barner too, just because, dude, 7 catches, 53 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like,
I'm not really feeling Theo against the Eagles.
I'm not. I don't want. Just stay away from that team. I'm trying to help everybody here. Come on.
Stay away. We got to build your bias in a little bit. Come on now.
No, dude. Well, one day, though, the healing will begin after this year. But the Giants, they have to suffer this year. The Giants fans wanted this. They got it. They have to endure.
Did Giants fans really want to bring back Dable and Shane again? I don't know.
They did.
That.
They
really?
did. Yes. Yes. Now a lot of people will be, oh, no, I never, bro. It was like.
How about the guys at like WFAN? They wanted those guys gone, right?
I don't know, man. They're all like, they're corny too, bro. They're like how they start screaming and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. Like,
getting a little bit better. Tierney's getting a little bit better with that.
The one guy, what was it? The Ricotta or whatever, Sal. He was like Licata. He was.
I don't want
Bro, it's just like, dude, well, you sound like a hysterical little girl.
I don't want
yeah, enough of Daniel Jones. It's like, bro, you look like an idiot now, like, I don't know, man. So, but those guys, again, they're like, it's like they're out on everybody. They could a coach could win a Super Bowl if they came out the next 2 seasons. If they came out the next season and lost the first 2 games, they would be calling for their head, But I think with the Giants fans this year, it was more of like people were warming up to it, but a lot of people still defended him, and they still do, but crazy.
All right. I would say they're Njoku for me.
Wow. I just don't trust Gabriel, talent. But I'm with you. Yeah.
Best talent.
Easily.
If not, though, I'd go with Tonjes in that shootout or Barner.
I love that.
Barner's also going to be who the Seattle got? The Jaguars.
That's a good game. That's another good game. I think
Dude,
I go
there's a
with
lot of
Tonjes,
good.
though.
There's a lot of good teams in the NFL this year. It's like it's
Yeah,
very interesting. I've had
awesome.
a hard time figuring out the NFL this year. It's been like one of my hardest so far, picking games anyway. It's been kind of crazy. All right. Jason again, start one. Swift, White, Rico, Carter, Myers, Terry. My team is too deep. Laughing my ass off.
Easy, Rico. I think that's I think
Well,
Rico's easy.
what if Bucky's out again? And Hubbard's in.
Oh, then White. Yeah, if Bucky's out and it's just White's the sole starter and Chubb is back, White, 100%.
White had a good game, but you're saying if Hubbard's out and White is out, I mean,
if
Irvin's
Bucky
out,
and Chuba,
yeah.
if Bucky and Chuba are both out, I would still go with Rico. I think Dallas has a much softer defense, and dude, not to be corny, bro, it is a revenge game, and like, dude, it's like if you were playing versus your old team, you'd want to show out, you know what I mean, and he's gonna get his lion's share of the work just like last week. So yeah, give me some Rico.
Hold on, one second. Yeah, I would say either White or Dowdle. Pay attention to the injuries there. We got some time. Another one. Start Jawan, Mason Taylor, Tonjes, or AJ Barner. I don't know about freaking the Jets against the Broncos in London though. Like that game scares me a lot.
I actually like Taylor there because.
But yeah, I think he's the most reliable. It's for me. It's either him or Tonjes though.
Well, Surtain is going on Wilson.
Oh!
Look at this guy.
Bad,
this guy.
The guy freaking dove, missed it, went to the center fielder backed him up on it. But
look at you. You called it though, bro. You said they were going to come back. You believed.
I didn't say they were definitely going to come back, but I wasn't giving up.
Mason Taylor though, give him because Surtain is going to be on Wilson. I think if the Jets are going to throw to somebody, it'd be Taylor this week. I think the safe play though here actually is probably Tonjes. Yeah, man.
With that total, yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're 2 hours in, so we're getting into the deep dive. This is, a lot of these waiver shows, 20, 30 minutes. We get into the freaking depths to try to help you. Yahoo doesn't clear till 3 a.m. anyway, and Sleeper, I think. CBS, and then you got a lot of waivers tomorrow. So hopefully we helped you guys. If not, go back and re-listen to the show tomorrow for Wednesday's pickups. Like, subscribe, share. We got a couple more questions here, and then we're going to get out of here. Nino Pena says, is it crazy using my number one priority for Mason Taylor or just keep it in case some big injury happens? No, just use it. If you need a tight end, 100%.
Agreed.
Sometimes you save the waiver priority and we're in
depends on how deep your league is, but you're so deep into the year. I just don't think there's much upside left. So I'm with you.
Yeah. Z-Roo says, what are your thoughts on Waller? Have Juwan on the bench, thinking of dropping him for Mason Taylor. Yeah, forget about Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill's back. Foster Moreau, I think, is back too. So his role is gone.
Waller and Mason Taylor are both better options.
100%.
Yeah,
but if you're picking one, are you picking Waller or Taylor?
I think I'm going to go with Waller right now just because I like Miami's offense better than the Jets.
Yeah.
But Mason Taylor is a good consolation prize. I don't think he's a bad consolation prize at all.
No,
but Darren Waller looks awesome right now.
Dude, he does. It
Yeah,
it was.
Dude, fun fact: the OC they have was the one that he broke out with in Oakland. So that we could be seeing that's why the production is starting to skyrocket. And first game he came back 2 tutties. So I think Darren Waller's legit, man. That's
dude, I was never a Darren Waller guy, and then he went off. Carr absolutely loved him, peppering him with targets. Then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And I was in on him a couple of years ago when he went to the Giants. I'm like, all right, Waller's gonna be good for Daniel Jones. Like it's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt again. I'm like, this guy, man, like he killed me. I was drafting him in tight end premium. So I gave up on him again. He was on the IR. I wasn't really thinking about him. But then you see him in that week 1 game with Tyreek out and he goes off. And yeah, man, he's going to be – he's a good option for Tua in the red zone. And again, he's their second best option behind Waddle. So, yeah, he's going to be a thing. I slightly prefer him over Taylor as well. Somebody said the Raiders. Somebody hacked into our system and wrote Raiders. Okay. I don't know who that was. Patrick says drop Slayton and Jawan for Mason Taylor and Haskins or Chubb. I'd go Mason Taylor's and Chubb there.
Agreed.
100%. Forget about Slayton.
I hate Darius Slayton.
He's not going to be consistent enough.
Joe Shane paid Darius Slayton over Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney. Just food for thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Slayton with the fumble last week. He's like, he's a solid receiver, but
right.
He's just so inconsistent. All right, Woods Girl says half-point PPR league. My league mates want Brees 4. He has CD, Devontae Adams as receivers. Could I get CD for Brees Hall? Rest of season rankings and projections have them about equal in points.
Bro, if he's going to give you CD Lamb for Brees Hall, do it right now. I don't even know how long CD Lamb is out for, and I would still do that trade.
Yeah, CD Lamb was a top 5 pick. Brees Hall was moving down into the 5th round. Now, Brees Hall is playing better than the 5th round. Like, he's more like a 3rd rounder probably right now. But, yeah, you got to go for CD there, especially if you need the receiver. Metcalf or Sutton this week?
Who are the Steelers are playing the
Browns. 38.5 total.
I would go with Sutton. Even though Saucy's going to get sauce, I think Sutton, because I don't know. I feel like the Browns defense is good. Jefferson, that's close, bro. That actually is that you can go either way here. I'm actually starting to flip a little bit because it's like I just feel like Denver's going to have their way with the Jets. They might not even really need to go to Sutton that much, but Sutton is a receiver that I feel like could give Sauce a good game. I might. I don't know, man. I'm actually kind of stumped there. That's a good one. I think maybe Metcalf, just because like Jefferson went off, Addison kind of looked good. Give me Metcalf. Gun to head, I'm gonna go Metcalf. I'm gonna give some respect to Sauce.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm with you since I'm a Jets fan. Any word from Jeff? Any word on Scary Terry returning yet?
I've heard nothing. Well, I don't really have much stock in him.
We got here. What the hell's that? Ad popping up. Can't even close it out. Anyway, stupid ad. I wanted to bring it up. Basically, he said, here we go. We're optimistic on Terry McLaurin and others returning this week. So it sounds like he could be back. If anything, there we go. It's not going to last that long. So if he's not back this week, he should be back the following week for Dan Quinn and Terry McLaurin. Jeff says Steelers defense or Packers defense both have great matchups.
I'm gonna go with Packers D.
Yeah, who did Packers get again?
They have Cincy.
Yeah, I'm with you on Packers. Although the Steelers get the Browns, yeah, I go.
They're both good starts. Starts.
I go.
I just think Browning stinks.
Hunter Henry or Mason Taylor? This is a good one. I think I like
Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Hunter Henry's been awesome this year, and he's May's guy. Ravi Bacon says wide receivers: Pittman, Pearsall, Godwin, Dobbs, Jameson Williams. Running back is CMC, Rashad White, Montgomery. My tight end was Strange, but he's on the IR, so I dropped him. What 2 receivers and 2 running backs, and what flex? Lots on IR. He needs 2 receivers and 2 running back and 1 flex out of those receivers and running back.
All right, well, you're definitely starting Pittman, and then if Pearsall is back, I would start him. If he's not, I would. Was this Chris Godwin's first game back? Did he even play it?
This is his second game back.
What did he do his first?
He's not doing much. First game was like 4 for 30. I think last week he had like 5 for 50 or something like that.
Oh wow, dude! But he had 10 targets week 1. They're
I
playing
think I'd go
San
with
Francisco.
Dobbs against the Bengals, right?
I like, yeah. You just hope they don't kill them where they don't have to throw the ball anymore. But
when are we going to get the Jameson 250-yard, 3 touchdown?
you know what, man?
game?
I'm gonna actually, because Mike Evans is still out. If Mike Evans is still out, let me just see what's up with Big Mike. Yeah, he's out. So I'm gonna go with Pittman and Godwin. I would go Pittman, Pearsall, but if Pearsall is out, I would go Pittman, Godwin. Running back, I will go CMC and Montgomery, unless Bucky is still out, which that looks most likely. So I
Then you
would
go
actually go
White.
CMC White, and then I would flex Montgomery because I think Detroit and Kansas City is going to be like a bajillion points. I could be wrong, but
It's a 52.5 total, but do you think Montgomery is going to – I guess he could fall into the end zone at least once.
oh, I think he's scoring. How efficient he is on the ground, I don't know, but I think he's definitely scoring. I think he's a good flex play.
Who do you think has more upside in that game, Montgomery or J-Mo?
It's a good question. I mean,
52.5 total. We're waiting for that J-Mo break.
here's the thing. I think Detroit's going to score a lot, and I think Montgomery is going to get his fair opportunity of goal line touches. Jameson, though, could take off. He hasn't done anything, but this could be the game where he has a big play, a couple other catches. I'm going to go Montgomery, actually. I think he could score twice. I just think it's one of those games where this is going to be a back and forth slobber knocker. So excited. I think he's an awesome flex play. So I would probably rock it. Pittman, Pearsall, with the backup for Pearsall being Godwin. And then I'd go CMC White because Bucky's probably out. And then I'd flex Monty. That's how I would do like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pittman. I think I'm going to assume Pearsall's out. So I'll go Pittman and Dobbs. And then I'll go J-Mo, CMC, and Rashad White, assuming Bucky's out. If not, then I'm going to go Montgomery, obviously. Sports Edit says, do I do Devonta and Chris Olave for George Pickens and J-Mo?
So you would trade Smith and Olave for Pickens and Jameson? No, but if I could trade Olave for Pickens, I would do it. try to have Smith and Pickens. I would like that. I don't know, man. That's tough because it is a good trade.
I think I like the Devonta Olave side better.
That's what I'm saying. I
just think it's more steady.
Yeah. It's tough. Because I think you could actually make an argument that Pickens might be the most valuable player in that deal this year, even with Lamb coming back. But yeah, I'm going to go with Devontae Smith and Olave. I'm with you.
All right, so you're going to hold there. If you want to do the deal, I don't hate it though. Mike Salinas says Waddle or Diggs or DK to pick up from waivers as a flex option. We're going Waddle, right?
I am, definitely.
Waller or Mason Taylor, week 6 tight end. We're going Waller. Trade Nico from GGG. Trade Nico for Chase Brown and Diggs. Hampton went down, and other receivers are a mecca in London.
I think I'm keeping Nico there. I want the better player.
Yeah, but you're getting Chase Brown and Diggs.
I just still think Nico could be elite.
Diggs? Do you trust Diggs the rest of the year? I don't know if I do.
That's what I'm saying, and you got to hope that Flacco. I do think there's a nice buy low window on Bengals players with Flacco potentially starting in 2 weeks. So I do think Diggs is going to be a nice piece moving forward because he's going to be Drake May. He's connected to Drake May. That's his one. In this trade, I want the elite player, and I think that's Nico. That's just me. So I could be wrong there because I don't think that's a bad return. I prefer Nico.
Yeah, I don't mind if you just hold there. Either.
Dude, Nico in London is kind of gross. That's a gross 1-2.
And he's got a Buka too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a nasty trio right there. Shaq Graham says start Rams D or Pats D this week.
Pats.
Yeah, and guys, if you have sit questions, come back all week and get some different opinions from the different guys on the show. Beast of the East 23. Should I start AJ Brown over Pittman this week?
No. Start Pittman.
Philly against the Giants.
That is a good get right game for AJ Brown.
Anything against the Giants.
I mean, dude,
Eight old Giants and anything against the Giants.
Dude, it's a great get right game for AJ Brown, but I gotta go with Pittman right now. Arizona. You know, what if Arizona comes to play and the Colts actually got to go full throttle the whole game? I think there's going to be plenty of yards for Pittman to be had that game, you know, and he's been scoring a lot. So give me Pittman.
All right, Evan 445, Josh Allen, Brock Bowers, Rashee Rice for Mahomes, Metcalf, Brian Thomas. I'm 1-4 with Pitts on the bench and weak wide receivers. Thoughts?
You give Josh Allen, Brock Bowers, Rashee Rice.
He's trading Allen, Brock, and Rice for Mahomes.
I would hold.
Brian Thomas.
I would hold. You held Rashee Rice this long, man. You could do it. You don't want to give away Brock and Josh. Well, Brock's injury sounds like it could be kind of like serious, so that's the one thing.
I'm holding there too.
Yeah, I think I gotta hold. Yeah. Hold.
Coach says, "Yo, what's up, Coach?
Up, Coach?
Thanks for joining us in today. I know you've been busy with school starting back and probably coaching. We talked about Flournoy earlier, but he says, how you boys feeling about Flournoy? Ernie, I'll let you go.
Yeah, no, I like him as a streamer, Coach, just as long as CeeDee Lamb is out. I like the Cowboys offense this year. I think they're like the Bengals of last year. Really good offense, bad defense. So as long as CeeDee Lamb's out, I think he's a good streamer.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about, like, did you like him coming out of college as a prospect?
Where did he come from again? Nebraska?
I don't even know. Tell you the truth.
I think it might have been Nebraska. No, I think he was like a kid that tested out pretty well, and they took a shot on him day 3. That I'm like pretty sure about. No, I heard good things.
He was a sixth round pick from Southeast Missouri.
Southeast Missouri. Wow, I was completely off. I'm thinking Nebraska. No, but he was like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure he was like tested out really good. Good athletic numbers. I wasn't the highest on him. Like, I was never crazy about him, but I just think right now, again, he's the opposite of Pickens. You know, they need to throw the ball to somebody. So I think he's a good streamer as long as CeeDee's out.
Yeah, again, I don't know. Like, Tolbert could step up, Turpin could step up. What about for, like, do you think he has any potential to be a thing for the Cowboys going forward?
No, because they got Lamb and Pickens.
But like past this year, like you think like dynasty?
I mean, maybe as a 3, but I don't think he'll ever be like really. I mean, that's his ceiling, number 3 on Dallas. You know, they would have to move off of Pickens and Lamb for him to really have, you know, pay fantasy dividends.
Evan said 445 says duh. On the Bowers trade, he says that league should be disbanded unless there's a different Bowers that I'm blanking on.
Agreed, Evan. Agreed.
CK says fair trade, Judkins and Hawk for Kraft and Tet.
I want Judkins and Hawk.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, yeah. Judkins looks unbelievable right now.
Yeah, I'd rather have Judkins than Tet. Tet's going to be a little more volatile with Bryce, and Judkins, that offensive line is blocking well. You know, so he's getting some holes and he's taking advantage of it. Index of suspicion, gets your Pats for the stretch. We got a Pats fan in the room. Juan Deere says trade Mayfield, McBride, and Henderson for Nix, Kittle, Sutton, Woody, and Hunter Henry. Current flex is Jacoby. Also have Caleb to backfill quarterback. Mayfield, McBride, and Henderson for Nix, Kittle, Sutton, Woody, and Henry.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you get Nix is not too far off Mayfield, although Mayfield.
Agreed. You get Kittle back
Kittle
sooner.
from McBride. You're getting Kittle from McBride. You're getting Woody that's probably a downgrade from Henderson, but Woody could get volume. And really, again, Mixon's not coming back. It's
Is
him
he
and
really
Chubb.
that much of a downgrade from Henderson right now? I do think Henderson is about to break out. I do
Going
think that's
forward,
coming.
you'd think, yeah, but yeah, it might not be much of a downgrade.
Because I think Woody is at least going to be in a split, right? I don't think Mixon is coming back. I think whatever
Woody
he's
didn't really have the game script last week. They were
yeah.
ahead, so that kind of hurt him.
Hunter Henry, like, dude, like, yeah, you're getting and he gets Hunter Henry too. Like
Yeah.
if that got offered to you, I would just accept it right now.
Yeah,
Like,
you're getting Kittle. You're taking the downgraded quarterback, but you're getting Sutton. You're getting the 2 tight end. Yeah, 100%. I'm doing that. Brain Cells says pick up AJ the Barber, or keep Njoku. I'm keeping Njoku. Right? AJ Barner. I think Ernie froze here. See if we can get him reloaded. Otherwise, we'll finish out this show. Myself. Yo, should I drop? Let's see if we get Ernie back. Yo, should I drop Wandale Robinson and pick up Romeo Dobbs or nah? Yes. Drop Wandale to pick up Romeo 100%. Or even Theo. I would still go with Njoku there, Brain Cells. Coach says, how about Coker? Nice waiver ad for, we did actually talk about Coker earlier. Ernie kept calling him Cocker, Joe Cocker. And I think Ernie just took off. I don't know if we're going to get him back. We'll see. He was had a long day, so he might hit the hay or go watch the Yankee games. And, But anyway, Coach Coker, I like it. I've been adding him in some leagues last couple of weeks, and anticipating his return. I like the way he finished down the stretch last year. I think he's a quality receiver. And hopefully he helps Bryce Young become a little bit more consistent. And it was good to see Bryce Young bounce back after another terrible start, the fumble, the interception. They finished the game pretty strong. And I think Bryce Young, they got to stick with him. They can't go back to Dalton again because that would be like a 2-3 week thing, which wouldn't be bad for Coker. But I think Bryce Young will be good overall down the stretch, at least for fantasy. And I do like Coker as a good ad. Coach says he liked Flournoy a lot in camp last year. So good to know. Coach, very, very highly knowledgeable on these college prospects. So, in a deeper league, if Flournoy is out there, take a chance. Again, we don't know. It's going to be hard to predict with Turpin and Jalen Tolbert out there. But, Flournoy could be the third best receiver on this team, other than Pickens and CD. So could be decent down the stretch. We'll see. And if there's an injury to Pickens and CD, he steps in a great offense. We just saw what he did last week. Wandier says, if not, you're doing that other trade, man. You're doing that other trade. But McBride and Mayfield for Nix, Kittle, Sutton, and Henry. Dude, either one, whatever you prefer. I think that's a smash for you. White Buffalo says 10-team, 4-1. Quarterbacks, Mahomes, Nix. Running backs, Bijan, Gibbs, Scat, Charbs, Warren, Haskins. Wide receivers, BTJ, Ladd, Rice, Addison, Olave. Tight ends, McBride, kicker, Aubrey. Defensive stream. No advice needed. I'm killing it. Appreciate the content. Appreciate you, man. 4-1 is very nice. Good luck the rest of the way. You have some nice depth there. And you're going to get Rice back, which is beautiful. So you get that extra bonus. And last question of the night goes from Brain Cells. Start Travis Hunter or Njoku, or if Warren plays, start him. If Warren plays, you're definitely going with Warren, 100%. If not, I think I'd go with Njoku just because it's a close one. I think obviously the upside plays with Hunter, the safer plays Njoku, but let's just hope that Warren gets out there and you could roll with Jalen Warren. But that's going to be it, guys. 2 hours and 23 minutes in the books. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everybody for joining us tonight. Mediators will be on tomorrow. Pete will be on Thursday for Start Sit. We'll be back, I think, for the primetime show for Thursday night game Thursday as well, with some picks and props in that game. And head over to the Discord. We have that as well. And the Patreon as well. Hit us up. Leave it in the comment. We'll give you the info. Like, subscribe, share. Face Off Sports Network. That's going to do it for us tonight. Deep waiver show. Join us next week. We'll be back for another deep waiver show edition, answering your questions as well. That's going to be it for myself. Follow me at X at Fantasy Savvy. Take care. See you soon.